Hello, people, if you are out there. Everything is getting ready. I apologize for the long wait. Oop, almost forgot one other thing, too. Listening to why it's bad audio. But soon you will not be, or maybe you will. Still, I don't know. I can't tell your future. But shortly we're going to start our show here with Michael Drejka. He's something to behold. We'll get into it. First, I have to do this, and then this.
Dog. Cat. Mouse. Turtle.
I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey everybody, Tony, welcome to the show. My name is Dave. It's Lingo Friday here at FFOP Radio. You know how we like to do it around this time. We have a show. Pardon me. My co-host and producer is off camera.
Hi.
We're enjoying a nice Rotomel. And here we are. Another true crime thing is going on. So I finally decided, let's go ahead and do Michael Drejka.
His name sounds familiar.
So here's the thing, like, he is probably in the annals of true crime history, at least on YouTube, because he has a JCS episode. Now, Krista, you don't know what this is probably, but JCS is Jeff Can't Swim. Came in, did true crime documentaries, blew up 30 million views of video, 100 million views of video. After a year, like, just disappeared. It's like, I can't make these videos anymore, blah, blah, blah. Found out who the narrator was, this whole thing. Came back, did the Sarah Boone thing like 6 months ago, radio silent again. But basically everybody owes their shit to them because everything that's like, you know, all the true crime shows that I love, like Red Tree or Stay Awake or Morbid Curiosity, they all got probably the bug from JCS. And so this is one of those. Michael Drejka, basically the long and the short of him is, you know, Florida dude, living in this neighborhood. He's like one of the worst types of dudes you would want to own a gun, but like he's the stereotypical dude who owns a gun. You know, he rolls around, he's like disabled or retired. He'll talk about it in the interview. It doesn't really matter much. But, you know, he rolls around the neighborhood, thinks he owns the place, like this is his store and he's protecting it and shit. But, you know, basically this is why I treat everybody as a wild card in the wild. Because they are, you know, for all intents and purposes, until you get to know them. And even then, you know, I don't want to pick a fight with someone and have them pull a knife or a gun, which is what happened here. And you can say, well, there's some victim blaming. There's some escalation on both sides. You go, what the hell? Let me know in the comments if you have a strong opinion on this case. I mean, like, I see where they were both in the wrong. It definitely ended where this guy gets to go to jail. But so the person that he shot and killed, his name was Marquise McLaughlin. So at this market, Marquise's girlfriend pulls into this parking lot of this market and pulls into a handicap spot. Marquise rolls in. Mike here rolls up, you know, superhero of the parking lot. He goes, hey, gets out of his truck. He looks around. And I don't think they play the surveillance footage in this interrogation, but it's out there. You can see him get out of his car. He walks around and like just starts yelling at the lady who's parked there and, you know, unnecessarily so. And so Marquise comes out of the convenience store and sees like Mike yelling at his girlfriend in his car window. So he gives him a good shove. And so Mike here just rolls over, pulls out his gun and blasts Marquise once. He gets shot in the chest. I think it goes through his lung and his heart. Like it's a kill shot.
Yeah.
He like, and this is all like his son is in the car.
Oh, good.
Like, he runs into the convenience store. Like you can see this on the surveillance cam footage. He runs into the convenience store and like the witnesses say, I just got shot. He collapsed and was dead. And now I just gave you the streamlined version, and I'll stop for the points along the way to point out what's wrong with Mike's story here as he gives it. But, oh man.
Crazy.
It's a wild ride. And all because, like, this dude wanted to get, like, big nuts and, you know, be the handicap placard police enforcement or whatever.
Well, you said he was disabled, so...
That's the thing. I don't quote me on that because I don't know if he's disabled or retired.
Wow.
He's going to get into it. That's why I don't... A lot of these cases meld together, and I'm saying take that with a pinch of salt. But here he is. Now, they're going to treat him like a little buddy, obviously, at first.
Yeah. Give him some Subway.
And of course, he's one of those cool dudes who's like not military, but has military friends. So he knows a thing or two, you know, according to him. But here we go. This is fresh after he shot Marquise. He does not know Marquise is dead. All he knows is that he doesn't know. He's an idiot. All he knows is that his arm hurts, and he's like, oh, he's gonna make a makeshift sling out of his shirt later, and it's gonna be stupid.
Nice.
But yeah, he doesn't know. And when he finds out, if we get that far, you'll be like, that's your reaction? Here we go.
I think yours. No, they're Eric's.
And keep his Dale Earnhardt Jr. hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, that's fine. Let's take them off. Hey, we're going to take them off. You're going to be cool? Oh, gosh. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
I know what's going on.
Have I not been cool this whole time?
Listen, you know, you haven't approached me in a parking lot. There's no way I'm going to shoot you guys. I have respect for law
Is
enforcement.
your watch here? Is it a smart watch or anything like that?
No, it's
Okay.
just
Nothing?
Timex. No smartphones, no nothing. First, gonna come up and
You got a nipple ring?
cigarettes. I don't like a problem bad.
Here's the thing. I've been watching a lot of interrogations, like this week especially, and a lot of trends are revealing themselves to me that maybe haven't before, that I don't think were there. But like in recent times, or all the interrogations I've seen, people keep calling cigarettes squares.
What?
So I need a square. I don't know
Weird.
if that refers to a single cigarette or a pack, but like in multiple interrogations this week, I got people of all colors and creeds being like, give me a square. Like they took my squares.
Weird.
New on me.
That's strange.
The only thing I left in there. What's in that brown bag?
There's a
Hey, what's
with a holster magazine with some rounds in it. What's that?
Assume he wants when he comes back.
But I do to both.
I'm just literally walking into it. As you saw.
Yep.
See, Michael thinks he has done nothing wrong, because here's the thing about Michael is like when you give an idiot a gun, they suddenly are, without touching a book, opening a website, or talking to a professional, they are experts in like stand your ground and castle law. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's one case out there that's been hitting recently, like this guy who owned this shopping center and also owned this bar, like saw some kids leave his bar and like one left the parking lot to piss on the like the back wall of the shopping center he didn't own. And his reaction was to run up and shoot the kid.
Nice.
And he's like, you know, it's stand your ground. It's castle. And then the cameras that he installed on his property show him approaching the dude, getting aggressive, like turning to leave, and then suddenly getting a wild hair up his ass to run and fire at him 7 times or whatever. It's fucking crazy. And that's the kind of numbnuts that this dude is. It's like, he's just begging for someone to give him a shove or give him like a dirty look or whatever so he can like flash the pistol at the look and pull it out at the shove.
Yep.
And he got to live his dream, and now he gets to live his fucking nightmare because he's in jail.
Okay.
Because he wanted to hassle someone about a placard on their car.
What today?
Another one. Yesterday, today.
Citrus County, then.
I love the small talk.
Citrus
And
County, then. It was an unexpected trip.
That was that early morning thing, right?
just interdepartmental shit going on.
Right.
Michael's like, hey man, my elbow hurts over there. You guys see this? It's like a little scratch.
I got some tennis elbow.
Oh, okay.
Man, a guy shoved me so hard I had to kill him. My elbow hurts, detectives.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know what happened. I know they flighted somebody up there yesterday morning.
Yeah, I'm
and that
not
was,
sure.
yeah.
You a sports fan, Michael? You like NASCAR?
What you like on your Subway?
Yeah, you like KFC? Gets the extra spicy, extra crispy. Oh dear God.
I would be like, oh, why the fuck am I here? Hi.
He shot a dude. He knows why he's there.
Yeah, but like,
Here's the thing. I imagine, and maybe this is just like common knowledge that isn't common, nor is it knowledge, but like, I imagine even like I put myself in these scenarios, right? Because you get bored and you say, well, what if this were a real self-defense situation? I were in that spot. I had to kill someone. Like, how would I react? Because like, if you shoot someone, even if they break into your home, the police are probably going to pull you into the station.
right.
And like,
They wouldn't necessarily handcuff you, probably.
not necessarily, but like there were people who were like witnesses to
Right.
this. Like in your house, they'll probably let you walk out and step into the back of the car. But you're probably going down there either way. So at that point, you're on their time.
Right. Yeah.
And unless I'm hysterical, which I probably would be because I'd shot somebody.
right. You'd either be in hysterical or like be in complete shock. Like,
It just blows my mind that people are like, how much longer is this going to be or whatever? And I'm like,
yeah, he's just sitting there with his legs out and crossed. Like,
yeah, he's just chilling.
Whatever.
His elbow hurts.
Professional. That's what I get paid to do, and that's just me.
That, I was gonna say, that's not paid.
It's just the way I am.
Yes, sir.
There's no reason to treat you any different.
Because a lot of times, you treat them with respect and they go, wow, thanks for that.
yeah.
That's why I like dealing with sheriffs better than local.
Have you dealt with many sheriffs there, Michael?
I won't take offense.
Hey, man, you already took a tumble once. You don't need to drop to your knees a second time and start filleting your interrogators. Thank God the deputies got me. All those local smokies.
You guys, you wanna sit out here?
Wherever you
Or
want.
hang out here? Actually, we could probably cut you loose out of here.
Okay.
We got some munchkins in the break room if you guys are. Because
Sweet.
it was Glenn's birthday, so it's like 24 I think, left.
Magazines.
No chocolates, those are all gone.
And I don't know what we did.
A lot of cinnamon left,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
We'll take it.
Okay.
Will you hang here?
I will hang.
And, cause there's a ton of people coming in.
There's a ton of people coming in.
Yeah, they take pictures of them and stuff. I'll probably have to scrub through some of
They
this.
find a bottle of water.
Oh, no, they come in pretty quick, so. We'll just skip ahead.
Nice to meet you, sir.
There we go.
I'm
Who are
not the
these?
case agent.
So these are
in
the
this. I'm
the actual interrogators. These are going to be our main characters.
Who was the other guy then that was like, I'll cut
Those
you
are-
guys loose?
Those are the arresting officers. So I think
Oh.
he was arrested somewhere. And that's the
Got
thing. A
it.
lot of these interrogations happen like somebody will get snagged one place, they'll get brought to another spot, and the detectives from the arresting place will get pushed out for the interrogators from another municipality or whatever. So,
I'm a detective in the same unit, the case agent and the assistant case agent, if that makes any sense.
we go to
You're
the district attorney. I talk to him on the daily.
We're best
Of
friends.
course, before any of us speak to you and try to go into any kind of details about anything.
gotta read your
or anything
rights.
Like that, I'd like to read you your rights. Are you familiar with your rights, Miranda rights? Okay, you know how to read and write?
Yes.
Oh, totally,
What's the
dude.
highest grade level that you completed?
Some college.
Did you have any college?
Yeah.
Okay,
Dang.
all right. So I'm just gonna read these to you.
Gotta get that card
I'll let
out.
you read along with me.
I mean, we can get past where he has to sign it and yada, yada, yada. We've all heard that shit.
Okay. And today's date is July 19th,
Yeah, well.
2018.
They always say the dates and times as if like, because I remember hearing the same tone of voice when I was learning the dates and time.
And again,
Yeah.
I'm, Detective
Like this second grade shit. We're like, oh, it's July 19th. Oh, look.
6:13 p.m.
You know what that is in military time, Mike? You know what military time is? That's kind of cool. Some fucking Waynam Cam's, Rocky Rambo Waynam Cam's interrogator does that shit. She's like, oh, you know military time? That's so interesting. And he's like, the fuck are you talking about? I never have I identified more with an axe murderer in that moment.
724. Okay. The reason we wanted to do that first, of course,
We want this to be admissible in court, obviously,
Right.
Michael.
Again, the
Right.
case agents are going to come in here in just a few moments. It's my understanding that your vehicle was still.
It's not a problem.
It's at the store.
Right by my house, so
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay. We have it all.
That's
cordoned
fine.
off.
They know me. They'll let me
Yeah.
park there for 17 or 18 years.
Yeah, it's
I never have. It's my store. I go in there every day.
You guys just live right.
So there you go. That's laying the groundwork. He says, that's my store. That's the thing. I want to have familiarities with local businesses, but not to the point where I'm willing to like kill someone for them.
No.
Over a minor inconvenience.
No, and his store he goes to every day is probably to buy a pack of cigarettes every
it's like,
morning.
It's like the local 7-Eleven knockoff.
Yeah.
It's like those third-party convenience stores that don't have gas pumps. Like it's everything 7-Eleven offers, but it's not 7-Eleven. It's awfully dirty in there, even for a.
It's like a food mart.
Yeah, like the third-party food mart, like Glenn and Sons or whatever the fuck. It's one of those. So to be like so desperate to protect your local watering hole for like Monster Energy and Marlboro Reds, like dude's dead, man.
Crazy.
Right around the corner. Okay. Would you be willing to give us consent to go inside your vehicle and just for documentation purposes? And,
cocaine.
Take that gun.
No, he gave the gun already.
Oh yeah, they said they mentioned the
right here.
bullets.
You said you can read and write. I'll let you read this, and if you fully understand it, we'll proceed. And I'll just
Then
get
we'll
your
write on
signature,
it.
and then I'll get the case agents in here in just a few moments. Okay.
More people. Fuck.
Yeah, the case agents.
You okay with that?
I'll just skim it. Yeah, it's fine. That's a lot of writing on that paper to just be like, oh.
Yes, it's the vehicle. That's for the vehicle.
Oh, because it's just a release. He's
Right.
like
Your
this.
number here, your
That's the
tag,
thing.
you
They're
want
they're
it
taking
2006
advantage. There are so many dudes out there like this with that like I am a friend of the thin blue line attitude because they strap a fucking 9 on their hip and they think they're helping out law enforcement by taking out the thugs and shit. All the racist shit you always hear because he's a. It never comes up, but it definitely feels like he wouldn't have pulled a gun on someone who looked like himself. That's just me, though. I don't know Michael, but it's Florida, and I don't want to make judgments. What was I going with that?
They're taking advantage of the fact that he's.
Oh yeah, because he's like, yeah,
respectful.
man, you guys are the sheriffs. I love you guys. I'll do whatever you want. I got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Like whether it's with the pride of the thin blue line or the lie of like I got nothing to hide. Like don't fucking talk to the cops.
It's Toyota 4Runner, correct?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
All right.
Can we get your smallest toe off your left foot?
Oh,
We need it
sure.
for DNA and other reasons.
Got a nice
You need
red
any more
Solo
water or
cup
anything?
right
You
there.
use the restroom?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, just be patient with us, and we'll get those guys in here shortly, okay? All right.
We're just the paperwork guys.
Okay, thank you.
They're detectives.
Oh god damn it! It's been so long since I've watched this raw footage.
Let me just
Yeah,
make
and here
sure that
comes
the,
Green
this
Shirt
place is
again.
clear of all
Who must be
persons in
the
here first,
case
okay?
Well, he's
agent.
not. Yeah, maybe he's the case agent, but like he's not the guy that we saw earlier.
Yeah, he is.
No, the guy we saw earlier was definitely darker complexion. Look at that guy. Look at him. Look at him.
Yeah, well, there were 3 of them
He's
with
as white
green
as a
shirts.
marshmallow. Anyway, we're skipping ahead.
It's gonna be 2 other guys, not quite as handsome as me, but.
Hey, don't let them hear this.
Okay.
Don't let them hear that.
I fucking love awkward jokes between like the accused and obviously guilty and
Yeah.
like those who are trying to make them accuse worthy to be like, grrr. Anyway.
District Station. Today's date's July 19th, 2018.
Oh, we missed. Yeah, he's made his sling now.
Nice.
So you can see his
Very
button.
nice.
Like he's not from Vietnam, but he can play a field medic on TV.
Looks great.
Reference today's shooting that occurred.
My arm
at,
hurts, sir. I don't know if I can
Sunset
talk.
Point Road in Clearwater, Florida. It's reference case number SO18-225724. Approximate time is about 20-30 hours.
You know military time, Michael?
Just go through your
Damn,
your
it was
kind of day,
2 hours
like right before you get to the store.
his time since it started. Because it was 18 something when they were like Mirandizing him.
Right, but that's the thing. They probably they did let him cook for a long ass time, but like all this was because they pulled the tape. They pulled
sure.
so they followed Marquise to the hospital and he was pronounced dead. So like they literally opened and shut the case in that 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, what would I? We'll get to it. He's like, what would you say if I had? Like that's the question that means they have it.
Yeah.
Like, hello, what would you say if I had? Or is there any reason? Like, if you ever hear, is there any reason? Or
Lawyer.
do you think I have any of that kind of bullshit? They have it.
Yeah.
Store first. Yeah, right around the corner to home.
Where do you live at, sir?
1116 Charles Street, Clearwater. It's in the Edgewater neighborhood. It's right off Sunset Point there.
1116
Clearwater next to
Charles.
Edgewater
Yes.
and the Pirates of Darkwater.
That's Clearwater address?
Yes.
What's the zip code?
This is unimportant.
3755.
It's on your driver's license, but I got to look busy.
Oh yeah.
And what's your phone? You got a current phone number?
727
Uh-huh.
543.
That's my uncurrent number. Damn it.
Duh.
That's your primary phone number?
Only phone, yes.
Okay. Are you employed, sir?
No, sir. Retired.
There we go. Retired.
Good for you, man.
I knew it was one of the two.
Never lasts.
I wish I was
Yeah,
retired.
it never lasts. I got to retire for about 13 years, and now it's...
And now I get to go to jail for the rest of my natural life.
How
Of course,
old are
I
you?
don't know that. He'll talk about it.
At a time we can
Okay.
come back, you know.
Can you spell your first name? Is it common spelling?
Common spelling.
Classic common Michael
What's your last name?
Jackson.
Drejka.
And what's your date of birth, sir?
8570.
Okay. You mind if I call you Michael?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, and you can call me George.
Hey George.
So just walk through, you leave your house and you drive up to the store?
No, I was coming back from the Wawa down on Missouri and Rosary to get some cash and headed home. Stop by the store, boom, boom.
Boom.
So you get to the store, tell me, kind of walk me through what happens.
I park my car and that's my store. I'm there every day.
Hello.
Every single. And every day there's somebody pulled in the handicap spot there, just waiting on somebody.
Okay.
And I keep telling him to hire me so I can harass those people out of that spot
Yeah.
because I'm a busybody with literally nothing else to do and the HOA won't let me on. So why can't I hassle people at my store
Yeah.
for parking where they shouldn't be? Yeah? I'm Michael Drejka.
So I have a pet peeve about it.
Sure.
I, said, do you mind, moving? There's a spot next door and there's spots out front. I said, would you mind moving and waiting on somebody? And
So there's
I don't know
21
what he's
spots.
rolling, but it's so annoying.
And she
Might be a booger.
had an affront that I would speak to her that way. Started getting a little, yelling, and then of course.
So you walk up to her car?
Actually, I was walking around it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I parked here.
In a non-threatening manner, your officer.
Okay.
Chip.
Okay, so I just checked for placards, plain and simple. And she inquired about what was going on.
Okay.
And that's when
Sketchy guy, middle of Florida, short white, short hair, white skin, prison-looking tattoos. She was like, hey, what's up with that? And I was like, what, bitch? Mr. Rogers over here.
about the handicap spots.
What did you tell her?
I said, it's not very polite to park here when there's other people who need to use this. She says, is it affecting you directly? I said, if my mother-in-law rolls in, yes, it will be.
So here's the thing. This part is so fucking annoying because he doesn't understand, relationships. Because if the question asked was, is this directly affecting you? And his answer is, if my mother-in-law was here and she needed to park here, then yes. And then no.
Right. Then the answer would be no.
Right. Because if your mother-in-law, it's an indirect relationship, unless you're in the car with her, in which case you wouldn't need the handicap spot anyway, so it would only be indirectly affecting you.
Yeah.
At the very maximum, it can indirectly affect you, which is essentially nothing. It is a non-event.
I mean, I understand indirect. I understand what you're saying, but it could also, if this happened, if he had to help his mother-in-law walk from a farther distance because she's handicapped, it would directly affect him. But in this case, it's not at all.
And then even then, it wouldn't. It's look at the footage. It doesn't make sense. But that's the thing. It's just a perceived slight. It wasn't even a slight. Someone can look you in the face and go fuck you, I think you're an asshole. And then you can be like, I think that was directed at me. And then you can be like, I think I'll take that, with some offense if you want to. Because they looked into your eyes and there was intent. But to get so offended from some other person's casual discourtesy or incourtesy, whatever the term whatever, they're being discourteous.
Yeah.
like generally and only according to bureaucracy, and like take it so personally as like, what does the rest of your life look like, my dude? Like,
Yeah. He just had a bug up his ass.
a spot you're not entitled to is like your pissing ground. Like you mark it to keep all the normies out.
So, you know, it was nothing, there was none of that between us at all.
Okay.
No, nothing. It was just heated words, that's all.
Just a mutual relationship, parking in a lot.
Okay.
She said, what do I have to do to get my man? I said, well, what's gonna happen then? And
Obviously escalating. Like nobody would back fucking down in this situation. And that's the thing. There are so, and that's, I kind of, now I don't want to take everything he says as gospel truth, but like the video and everything, like everybody's testimony shows, like, yeah, they were getting at each other. And obviously, like you get in someone's face, they're going to bark back.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like there were so many there were so many opportunities to just be like, whatever, like roll your window back up,
Right.
or don't say like, well, what's he gonna do about it when he comes back? Like, just disengage and get your fucking Slim Jims.
we were arguing back and forth, and I never saw what hit me from
She was the driver of the car?
She was in the car, yes. She was the only person in the car.
All right.
That's
Nope,
all.
the
You didn't see
kid was in the
anybody else
car.
in the car?
Saw his dad get
Yeah,
shot.
It was dark,
Okay.
couldn't see through it.
All right. So you guys are talking.
Yeah, exactly. She's out of the car by this time.
Okay.
Standing next to it, that's all.
Okay.
And I got hit from the left side and thrown straight backwards in line with her car.
Okay.
So if you saw this,
Why were you against facing?
Next to the thing, that's what I.
Now here's the thing. So like she was parked in the spot, and he's essentially standing looking at the driver's side door, like
Right.
4 or 5 feet away.
Yeah.
So when he gets pushed outward and laterally, so like toward the trunk, but away from the car, and he falls down like a sack of shit.
Oh, okay. I see. The way I thought he said it was that he hit the car.
No.
So I went almost straight back after I got
Or
hit.
he's pushed him away from the car.
Huh.
I was standing like this.
Here we
talking to
go.
her.
Okay.
I was hit from right here,
This area, the shoulder area,
pulled in front of me, and then I was,
flying like Superman.
Woo!
Oh, okay.
and then
All
I
right.
hit the ground.
You see that? Mm-hmm. My arm hurts.
Ooh, that's a big old ouchie. I need my mom to come blow on it. Give me some cookies and milk. How's Marquise, by the way?
Pretty sure.
We'll get somebody to take pictures of all this.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that too much, but
Yeah, I shot a dude, so it's fine.
See that? Notice how he didn't say, we'll give you some medical care, we get some
No.
bandages on it. He's like, we'll take some pictures of that shit.
I
Yeah.
did my wrist.
That's evidence,
Under
Michael.
my gun, actually. That's how I landed, because that's hurt like a son of a bitch now.
Man,
You
the
landed on
irony.
the
I
baby?
landed on the thing
Yeah.
that killed the
I was
dude.
on the ground.
Fuck.
So that time I had to put hand down to get hand out from underneath as I come out.
Hand
I start
down,
leveling
hand
my
out,
weapon.
hand up, hand
As I
over.
start leveling off my weapon, he makes his next step towards me, and 21-foot rule.
Didn't happen. And don't, that's another thing.
21-foot
I keep
rule.
forgetting about that one too. The 21-foot rule is a bullshit non-rule that like, it's essentially a rule of thumb. Like if you're within 21 feet of someone and they have a blade, like unless you have your gun drawn, they're going to come kill you. But every test I've seen sees that that's wildly unpredictable. So that's another thing that idiots will do, though. They go like the 21-foot rule or stand your ground or whatever,
Yeah.
because they think that those mean something. It's like when Cyrax says like the FBI and like the detectives are coming to you, and I will fuck you up legally. How? With what? There's no castle doctrine you can pull out. Like you're not standing your ground. You're assaulting someone in their car, and you're causing a ruckus. Like,
Yeah.
21-foot rule. He was within 21 feet, so I had to shoot him, officer. You fucking kidding me?
I'm on the ground already.
Right. Okay.
It happened so fast, and that was that.
Did he say anything to you?
Negative. Not a word.
Negative.
Hmm.
Did you say anything to him?
No.
Bravo,
Back
Charlie.
up or-
No.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
why
you
would I
draw-
tell him I was going to shoot him? I would just
Yeah.
shoot him.
Your weapon,
Guns out,
talk to
buns
me about
out,
that
sir.
From
Well, the way I was able to draw it, I couldn't level it with one hand, so I had to eventually try and bring my left around
Eventually.
for support.
Took so long.
And he made his step towards me.
No, he
and
didn't.
that
He
was
didn't.
that.
how many steps did he make towards
Just
you?
one step.
Okay. And then
The video would prove that he made 0 steps toward him because when he pushed him, he was already backing up.
Oh.
Michael, as he was rolling over, must have gotten his attention because he looks back. Michael flashes the gun, like Marquise turns to leave, like flee, and it's only by the grace of his itchy trigger finger that he probably got him in the front instead of the back because he was fleeing. There was no step toward it, and the shit'll hit the fan at the end of this if we get to it. But that's the punchline. It's like, hey, guess what? He pushed you. You felt spooked. He was running away, and you shot him. Like,
And then that was that. Talk to me about that. What do you do from there?
I made sure there's no other threat around him because it spun him a little bit and he ran into the store. Immediate threat gone. I did have her as a
Plenty
potential.
of other threats.
Beforehand, before you fired the gun.
Flying monkey there, right?
Ask me the question.
Before you fired the gun,
Yes.
once you pull the gun out,
Yes.
okay, you said he stepped towards you?
Yeah.
Because
He
I don't
made
want to
one
put
more
any words-
step. Right. He made one more step towards me.
And then what do you do?
I didn't say a word. Gun
Okay.
was already out.
Okay, what do you do?
Shot him.
How many times you fire the weapon?
One time, sir.
Okay. So you fire the weapon and then basically just scan?
I ended.
And see, here's the thing. I've seen this case torn apart by a bunch of different people, and it's hard to say like whether or not, because the human recall and self-reflection are one of the things we do the worst. So I wonder if in the moment, like he was, obviously he probably got spooked when he got pushed and felt like a kid on the playground again.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if the delusion of the hero fantasy kicked in then, or like he got spooked, like recalled sometime he got shoved off a swing in 6th grade and wanted to kill that kid, took it out on this poor guy. And then later, like as he sat here for 2 hours making a sling out of his LL Bean button up, he goes, thank God I'm a fucking hero. It's my store and he pushed me and I had to neutralize all these threats.
Yeah.
You went from like, picking up a Duchess apple pie. And then you're like neutralizing threats and all over the place.
Ended up standing up, made sure all of the threats were cleared, reholstered my weapon.
All those threats.
Reholstered the
So
weapon.
he didn't come back at you again or anything like
Not
that?
after he left.
No, yeah,
Where
he
did
got
he
shot in the
Into
chest.
the store.
Okay. Did you strike him?
No.
No, I mean with a gun.
No. I don't know. I
The
assume
bullet.
so, yes, because there was an ambulance.
Oh yeah, so you didn't even know.
So you don't know if you hit him?
I
or not?
know nothing, but I would assume so.
Okay. All right.
I'm not a
So,
terrible shot,
what
sir.
do you
I'm
do?
sure I hit him
I
somewhere.
mean, he did yell out a few times that he did get shot. Then, like, the first thing he said when he busted into the store before collapsing on the ground was, "That guy just shot me." So, again, I don't know if, like, his hero fantasy started when he hit the ground and he's like, now it's time to do my thing. Like, I've prayed for this every day, to the white Christian, bald eagle loving God. Or, like, he got spooked. And probably the sound. My theory is the sound of the gunshot snapped his ass out of whatever it was, the fear or the hero thing, and got him into reality for a sec.
Probably. And because of the sound of the gun, maybe he didn't even hear him screaming.
Yeah, I'm sure, because guns are loud, and if you don't have hearing protection, you're probably going to be deaf
Yeah.
for a little bit. But yeah, like, there's so many variables. But the fact that he can, just recall, like, and just like, I don't even know if I shot him or not. I mean, contextually, all the clues were there. But in his mind, he's telling this revisionist history, and that's the thing about modern day stuff. Like, if this happened outside a store where there was no cameras, like in say the 50s, and Marquise runs in the store, being like, I got shot. The police probably like, well, who's to say that isn't how it happened?
Right.
Like, we're so close to when this would just be like, oh, well, boys will be boys, essentially, because we can't prove otherwise.
Talk me from there after you reholster your weapon.
After I reholster my weapon, everything's clear. Somebody screaming about hurt kids. Somebody screaming about hurt kids. Somebody thought they were in the car.
Yeah,
So I
dude's
said,
kids were in the
"Let's
car.
inside, see if you can get her to unlock the car."
Mhm.
And that was it. All I remember is screaming about kids.
Okay. What do you do from that?
Here's another thing I can't ever wrap my head around with, like, these law-abiding, good-natured, criminal, vigilante citizens who, like, they don't understand, like, that in their American-made wet dream where they get to shoot the bad guy and maybe they'll have to deal with some hassles, law enforcement to prove that they were, but they'll all get pats on the backs and medals and shit.
Yeah.
But in reality, gunshots are scary and people are going to be around. You're going to fucking destroy someone's lives by subjecting them to all of this. So he's like, she was saying something like, my kids. I'm just basking in the glory of my murder.
Yeah, you scarred those kids for life.
Yeah, there are so many dynamics here that he is just completely ignorant of because I'm now leaning more toward just revisionist history. It's just a blur of emotion because he's a fragile little dude in flip-flops right into the store.
Yeah.
After you hear somebody talking about our kids and stuff.
Everything's on. Well, I asked one person to go, see if she could unlock her car from the inside, and then I decided to extricate myself from the situation completely and just back to my vehicle and wait for you. So I took my firearm out, unloaded it, locked it, left it in the car. And
What do you mean you locked the back?
Yes.
Okay.
Unloaded it, locked it back, waited for you.
Okay. Did you unload a bag or anything like that? Or?
No, God, no. Just the one that was in the pipe.
Okay.
In the pipe.
So where did you store the weapon at?
My prison wallet.
Inside the vehicle.
Oh, it was in my holster.
Okay. Where did you put the gun at?
No, after you unloaded it, idiot.
Okay, on top of the center console. What do you do from there?
Wait for you.
Hang out.
Do you make any statements to anybody?
Negative.
Shut out the window.
Other than telling people it's probably not a good idea to be in here right now. Customers pulling.
Yeah, that's great. You shoot a dude, walk into your car, unload your gun, and roll the window down so you're just looking over your tint. And you're like, I wouldn't go in there if I was y'all. I'm roll it back up.
I may or may not have shot a dude.
Sonny D isn't going to fix this Friday.
All right.
Well, I did inquire if he had his cameras on because I know he's got 9 cameras in that place.
Yeah.
You inquired to who?
The clerk through the door.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he was on the phone with someone.
You got this on camera?
Did you make contact with him? You walked up to the store and make contact?
I walked up to store through the door.
Okay.
And
Well, you faced through solid matter, Michael?
Whoa.
I really want somebody to look at those tapes. It should have everything.
Okay. I'm sure they do.
Yeah, pretty sure they do, but let's go ahead and talk for another hour.
Yeah, let's talk about this
So, after all this happens, deputies show up, I'm assuming?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Talk to me about that. What happens from there?
Procedure deputy,
Procedure deputy.
Identified myself.
Check.
And from there it was straightforward. Me on the ground, handcuffs.
Okay. All right. Did you have contact with deputies here or detectives when they brought you here?
One said they came in, got some quick information, asked me if I needed any water, and I haven't seen anybody since.
All right. Did you talk to? I think they read your rights and stuff like that.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you've been advised of your rights.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna
pretty
kind of
laissez-faire.
slow it down a little bit and kind of because I'm gonna be asking you specific questions.
We're going to go
about
beat by
about
beat
things that-
again.
Yeah, so here's how we're going to do it. Basically, every interrogation happens like this. I'm going to ask you questions about stuff that I know already, and some I won't, but you're not going to know whether I'm bluffing or you are. But I'll definitely know when you're lying because I do have evidence.
Yep.
Keep that in mind. They say that every fucking time. They always go, you don't know what I know. And I've seen enough interrogation to know that you just if you're in the situation, just imagine the police know everything.
Right.
I get the criminal's dilemma of not saying a thing because you don't want to tip your hand in any way and give them any more fuel to the fire. But by virtue of being there alone, you're a log in the fire.
Yeah.
And again, just like you were, just be truthful with me. And
Trust me, bro. I'm an expert.
I wasn't in the military, but I've got military friends. That's kind of the same thing. We go out shooting 3 times a year. They tell me stories about how they'd bang Korean hookers. We'd get blastered. And, I feel a little more military-like at the end of the weekend.
Yep.
kind of dot our I's and cross our T's, exactly what happened. I know you kind of went through it a little fast or whatever.
I need
so
an ironclad
we're gonna
case
just go
against
back.
you, my man.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Went through it a little fast. He'd
Appreciate it, Michael. So you get to the store.
So back up. You wake up today. What time do you think? Oh, I hate it when they do that.
What
though.
did you make for breakfast?
Like, if a crime spans 2 days, it's so frustrating to start the interrogation. Like, I understand you have to love a slow boil if you like interrogation footage, But for them to be like, so, okay, take me back. Today's what, Thursday? Let's take last Tuesday.
Right. It's like the
you
kid.
wake up. What are you doing?
The guy that, oh God, kidnapped and murdered that Asian girl at the college.
Oh, Brent Christensen.
Yeah, they're like, all right, let's go back a couple days. What were you doing on Friday?
That's the thing. He was the one who fucked up that timeline.
Right, because he was looking for jobs, or he was sleeping, or playing games. Or...
Right, but that's part of it. Like, that's the thing. When you start at the beginning and you give people that latitude to lie, they go, well. And that's the thing about Brent's story. It was like he committed the murder, but he thought it was on Friday instead of Saturday, so he wasn't going to admit to it. He's like, I did meet an Asian girl, but I thought it was Friday instead of Saturday. And I did give an Asian girl a ride, but I thought it was Friday instead of Saturday. And I did murder her and do horrible sexual acts upon her body and discard her in a dump.
But on
I
Friday.
thought that was Friday, so I don't want to go down for the one. If there was one on Saturday,
that wasn't
officer,
me.
Like, come on, man. What's that for your little pedophile thing?
Store. Yes. Where do you park your car?
Directly next to the last parking space.
Do you know north, east, south, west?
Facing south.
Okay, so your car is facing south.
Yeah,
in the last
store in the last spot.
It's kind of furthest to the west, right?
Furthest to the west.
Okay.
Correct.
And you're pointing.
I'm a Southwest man myself,
to the
so I
front, you
appreciate
okay?
that.
It just twins it now.
Okay. So you're pointing to the front of the store, your vehicle.
Yeah, south.
What type of vehicle do you drive, sir?
06 Toyota 4Runner.
Okay. What color is it?
Silver.
Okay.
Purple.
You don't like buying American? You seem like a guy who would love to buy American. But you're one of the guys who like buys a Kia and then covers it with God Bless America and Eagles and shit on a Korean car, Michael. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously I'm saying that to the Japanese, but same type of dude, right? Like, don't be one of those like fucking flag flying God Bless America, we the people bullshit, like plastered on a South Korean or Japanese or whatever car. It's a little disingenuous. Yeah. I mean, you do you, but it just feels so like,
what?
What you had a Kia or a Hyundai, and it's like, these colors don't run. And well, which one?
So you park there, you exit your vehicle to, like you normally do, go inside the store.
Sure.
You always park up front like that?
Sometimes I'll park inside if there's nobody.
Okay.
I'll park
On the west
inside.
side?
I just drive into the store.
Handicap.
Hell, sometimes when there's nobody there, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Sometimes if it's late, parking lot's empty, I'll pull into that fucking handicap spot because I know that nobody's going to be there. But that is me. That's my store. That is my store. You motherfuckers, you do not come to my store and park in my handicap spot.
Okay. Like by the bathroom area?
You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
So
You must know this
you
store
exit
too. Is this your store too?
Right.
He's reviewed the footage.
Like you always do, and you're getting ready to walk in the store.
Yeah.
And what do you see from there?
No placard on the front of the car because
What?
I have to walk by the car to.
So you approach the vehicle?
Oh.
Yeah, so what's the first thing you see? I see no placard on the front of the car. So you saw an absence of a placard. What is that like? And P.S. the way it's so stupid. Like he would have to again, he's like looking for a fight. If he just got the fuck out of his car and went to the store, he would have completely missed her visually until the part where he would have been leaving. And by then the situation would have resolved itself because dude would have been done shopping.
Right. When I go to a store, I don't look.
Like you don't give a fuck. You do you. Michael is a dude who wants you to do him, and he goes, "Hey, wait, come on. The rules are the rules." Bam, 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 bam.
Oh, in front of the vehicle, yeah.
Okay. And your intentions on walking around the cars to look for placards?
Totally.
Not to hassle anybody
What do you
unnecessarily.
Take pictures if there's,
Okay. You take pictures if you don't see no placards, or you take okay.
And do what with it?
Placards?
License plate, windshield, and the front.
Okay.
See if there's a front license plate or anything.
Okay. When you approached the vehicle, did you make eye contact with the driver?
I couldn't see the driver.
Do you have any handicap credentials or licenses from the city?
So her window wasn't rolled down?
No,
the
not
driver's
at the
side?
time, no.
Okay.
Not until I
So you
started knocking
walking
on it.
around the car?
Yeah, I walked from the front to the back and then just back up again. And
Okay.
I took no pictures. I just, would
Sure.
assume would go and keep going. But then
Officer, we live in a
What's the car
society.
Yeah, that's a good one.
couldn't tell us, mate. It's so quiet.
Okay.
These damn cars. It doesn't sound anything like mine.
Damn electric
So then when
cars.
you come back around,
That's one thing that old people all seem to sort of whatever. Like there are certain demographics in society, you'll see these pockets where like a certain age group will want their mode of transportation loud, some will like it soft, and they'll blame it on different eras. Or like if you're an American muscle type of dude, like a Harley or a Victory or whatever, Indian, you know, he's a cheap Japanese crap or whatever. All that, like, I don't know, it's so weird to me, these people. It's just, you know, all these newfangled cars are so quiet. Yeah, and like when you walk by them, it doesn't make you sick to your stomach because half of the fuel that you're taking into your fucking carburetor isn't getting burned because your engine is wildly inefficient.
Yeah.
Is the window rolled down at that point?
No, only after I get back up in front and she on my way into the store and she asked me, you know,
What the fuck
She
are you
rolls the window
doing?
down?
Yes, sir.
Do you make verbal contact with her first, or did
She made verbal contact with me first.
So I felt justified when I did.
Asked me what I was doing, of course.
Okay, so she asked you what? What are you doing?
What
What
are
are
you
you doing in
doing?
my car?
Yeah, I
And
said
you said-
I'm looking for handicap placards.
She call you cracker or honky or anything like that?
And ensued with, well, what's that matter
So-
to you?
okay. So when she rolls her window down, she says, hey, you know, what are you doing? How far are you away from the car?
To the front of the car.
Okay, so you're standing at the front?
Yeah, about the front of the car, which is the
Are
edge
you
of
on
the
the curb?
sidewalk, yeah.
Okay, so you're on the sidewalk?
Yeah, I'm not exactly in front of the car, I'm on the sidewalk at the front of the car.
Okay. So after you start talking to her, do you approach the driver's side of the car?
Yeah, just, of course, I don't want to yell back and
Right.
forth. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all.
I
That'd
want
be
to
rude.
talk to a stranger that I'm hassling in a handicap slot from like more than 4 feet away. Ugh. Decorum
So
calls
how
for.
far do you approach the vehicle,
I'm,
distance-wise, approximately?
God, it's gonna be, she's in the car and it's.
Let's say I'm the driver.
She can probably smell your breath, you know,
Okay.
after a while. It's not like I was leaning in her car or anything.
Hopefully you can't smell my breath.
Oh, yeah, hopefully you can smell mine.
So can you show me how far, let's say I'm her, how far do you come up to her?
By the window.
Okay, so a couple feet.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, his
I'll
shirt
go
looks
ahead and
fucking
turn to her.
stupid.
Yeah, because of his awesome sling. I'm gonna do that with this one later. I'll make 2 slings. You just pop them in, go to sleep.
All right.
Pulling a Drejka.
So you walk up to her car and you say, I was looking for
Mm-hmm.
handicap placards.
Correct.
And then what did she say?
What's it matter to you? I said, well.
I said, I'm an honorary mayor of this convenient mart. It is my store. I'm here every day, and I have the authority to hassle you about being here. So please don't.
And like, he can't even say that it's illegal because it's not illegal if you're not parked. Like, if your car's on.
I mean, but who cares? Whatever. On or off. It's
Not that I would do it. I'm
the
just saying.
kernel of it is still annoying. Like
Yes. It's
I don't know.
obnoxious that she did it. It's obnoxious that he did this.
When I was a very young child, I was very oblivious to nuance. So I you know, before a certain age, I did not understand handicap parking because I go, well, what the hell? Like, how are they driving? They're handicapped.
Yeah.
Because to me, handicap was like, just like, you know, Sesame Street showed handicapped kids or just kids in wheelchairs. Like, well,
Right.
they can't drive.
Yeah.
Why did they need the primo spots? What the hell? But, you know, there's all kinds, you know, people exploit the system because they go, well, it's not actually my placard, or, you know, I don't actually have fibromyalgia or whatever the fuck. It does make you, you know, chaps your ass a little bit, but that's bureaucracy. You just got to fucking let it go. Or you can go to jail for the rest of your natural life.
Yep.
It wouldn't matter
Michael?
to me unless my mother-in-law showed up right now and needed a place to park.
But it does matter to you because somebody's parked there.
At that moment, yeah.
You sure?
So, yeah.
And your mother-in-law wasn't in the car?
No.
Okay.
What if a handicapped griffin showed up? Would you be upset? Like, you know, once in a lifetime, a griffin, you know, the mythical creature shows up, finds no place to park, and you miss your opportunity to meet that sumbitch? Yeah, I want to shoot a motherfucker.
But it's
Yeah.
funny because then he said to the lady, like, there's a space right next to it. Okay, so
Right, but don't get caught up in the minutia. Don't try to like be like, well, Michael, here's the thing. There was a spot next. All of that is like, it doesn't matter. Like this, it's the thing of live and let live. Yeah, there's always a spot next to the spot that you think you want. It's just, it doesn't fucking matter. Michael just needed to go get his fucking monster, get back to watch whatever Thursday night football game, and like pound a pack of Pall Malls and a 24 of Keystone. Like, fuck, dude. Maybe this was redacted? I didn't do anything to it. What the heck? Oh, say it ain't so. Oh my gosh. Give me a second, guys. We got some sort of strange technical difficulty. Oh my gosh.
What the heck could happen to the sound only?
I don't know.
Can you guys hear us talking?
Let me try. Well, yeah, we can. It's just the Bluetooth thing is acting funny because it's going on its like third year here. Oh, many apologies, guys. It feels like every time you tune in, we got to have something fuck up and break. But at least it's like a small one.
It's so little. Put the subtitles on.
Oh, no, an error. Come on, baby. Connect. Nope, it's an error. All right, that's cool. No problem. Let's get this out of the way.
We still love you, says Tony. Thanks, Tony.
Hi. Let me. Oh, if I do that, that'll be a bigger problem. What can I do here? All right, we're just gonna go ahead and.
Have you turned it off and turned it back on again?
Turn it off and turn it back on again. But anyway, I mean, you see where we're going with this, right? He's going to, and this feels like 7 or 8 layers of Duncan Hines frosting because again, they have the video, and.
Right. And
real quick, here's the thing I think is the most important thing to take away from this is like, no matter what the hero story is like, the human perception of itself and its surroundings is pretty flawed. So, you know, without, you know, the modern state of things, like if there were no cameras that were there to shoot that thing and show Michael like, hey, this is what happened. He was actually running away and you shot a dude and like, so he can see it visually. Like if it was just down to witnesses or whatever, or, you know,
he could have gotten off.
Yeah. Not only could he have gotten off, but like, it just wouldn't have clicked with him.
Yeah.
Like he would never have believed that he could have done that. And so it wouldn't, that's the thing that's so subjective about this, right? You can say, you know, how do you pass a lie detector test? If you don't believe the thing you're saying is a lie, you won't act like you're lying. And if you're, you know, especially coping after the fact you shot someone, you go, well, yeah, of course you would want to weave yourself a hero narrative being like, you know, a lonely loser your entire life like Michael is, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. If there were no cameras there, he could have just done it and left.
Yeah, and that's the...
And the people at the store probably don't know his name. Like, they probably just know he comes in every day to get the same thing, but they don't know who he is.
Well, and, you know, that's the thing. I think since he did it at such a busy time... Enough people were there, they probably would have been like, yeah, we've seen that car before or whatever.
Yeah.
It just would have taken longer and it would have been harder to prove.
Right.
Like we couldn't have the waveform collapse in the interrogation like this.
Yeah.
Because in this interrogation, they get to go, okay, we have the video, just make him say the thing that we know he's going to say that's the opposite of the truth. So every time he contradicts the video, it'll be a nail in the coffin.
Yeah, this is a tragic case of the Mandela effect.
Yes.
Dude just came from a reality where he was a hero being attacked.
Right, yeah. Right. Him and his military friends, you know, but he couldn't make it in real life. And now I have no sound coming out of the other computer. I'm very upset. Wait, what's this? Why is this down?
Oh, the thing
What happened?
I don't know.
Anyway, guys, we're back at it. We got sound again.
Yay.
Oh, yeah. Technology, right, guys? Well, in my day, computers are so much louder and bigger. And now, you know, they're smaller and quieter, but less reliable, possibly? Anyway.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, Mike. At any time and point, because we all know parking in a handicap spot without placards is illegal, correct?
Yeah, but that's not why I ask people. I can't.
Sure, right. And I get that.
then why is it that you're asking people?
Right. Why are
Michael?
you hassling
That's
people?
the question that is begged here. But he's like, right. But anyway, why,
But
Michael?
at any time and point when you saw the vehicle, you checked the vehicle for handicap placards?
Of course.
Okay. You didn't see no handicap placards? At any time and point when you noticed that, why wouldn't you pick up the phone and contact law enforcement?
There it is. Here she comes. Wait a minute. Nah, I can't even remember what she said there.
Okay.
And P.S. Like, here's the thing. I've had to call a non-emergency police line a few times because we had some neighbor issues with, like, you know, she was really proud of her stereo and I wasn't.
Yeah.
And, like, if they do show up, it's long after the situation
Right.
has
It's
passed.
hours later and it does nothing.
And he should know that. So to be like, well, why didn't you? Because that would open you up to, like, would anyone give a fuck?
No. Yeah. No.
It's like, because like movies in the 80s always did this too, or like they would always just downplay burglaries or like stolen cars. They said, like, oh, my camera, like, you want to come down to make a report? And like, well, will it do anything? And like, no. And like, well, fuck that.
Right.
That's kind of what it feels like this is.
Yeah.
Oh, there's someone in a handicap spot. Come arrest him. All right, we'll be there in 45 minutes. I hope they have a lot to do.
Right. I hope they're got a lot of shopping in the food mart.
Like, Jesus.
Because all we were having was a verbal argument
Okay.
between two people.
Right.
I didn't know about a third person.
Okay.
I was literally blindsided
Sure,
and
why would you?
tackled to the ground.
Right.
Yeah, why would you stick your nose into
Wouldn't
someone
it
else's
be
fucking
best
business?
And you just thought she was just sitting there for fun?
If somebody illegally parked?
For fun.
It's not going to help. She'll leave.
Okay. Well, she may not
They
know.
always do.
Well, she may not know that.
I mean, they always do until one shoves you and then you shoot him and you show no remorse and your trial is a fucking travesty because you go, well, you know about it, and then you go to jail.
You called if you walked away, right?
Bosco says, from the procedures of stop or my mother will
shoot, yeah.
shoot comes don't park there or the local crazy will shoot.
Seriously, right? Like, imagine this would be, instead of like Estelle Getty and Sylvester Stallone, it would be like B. Arthur and Frank Stallone. That'd be great.
I mean,
I'd
this
watch
was
that.
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm asking you, a question.
Do you now
so
thirst for blood? Like, now that you got the taste on your lips, do you feel like you'll kill again, Michael?
Would you do it again?
So you guys are bickering back and forth. Next thing you know, you get pushed.
I'm blind. Pushed
I'm
nothing.
blind.
Tackled.
I'm
blindsided,
blinded.
Dude.
Okay.
I'm on the ground.
I was classic
hard.
Sandra
So
Bullock
he shoved you.
blindsided.
No, for what it felt like is he come running at me.
Okay. Like full force.
Dude, I haven't been hit like that since I was in my 20s.
Okay.
Nah, you gave him like a light shove. Michael was just
Right.
caught off guard wearing flip-flops in an uneven gravel parking lot and he fell over.
All right. So he shoves you to the ground. You fall to the ground.
Correct.
Okay.
You're
Correct.
on the ground.
Not very
You hurt your elbow. You got a
You
boo-boo.
hit your head.
Don't know. Don't
Need
feel
some
it.
ice?
Okay.
Don't know.
So you don't know if
he's
he's
sideways like this.
I fell down like one of those comedy Family Guy fall down.
So I landed on my wrist, on my gun.
okay.
And that's when I reminded myself that my gun I wanted to kill someone with.
Yeah.
And this was someone I could kill. So
have
I
a
stood
gun.
my ground. I counted 21 feet. I built a castle doctrine around me and I shot him.
What is, okay, you've mentioned castle doctrine more than once. What is a castle doctrine?
It's the same. Okay, so castle doctrine is what idiots point to when they say, come into my house and I'll fucking kill you. It's castle doctrine, bitch. But here's the thing. Castle doctrine is if somebody breaks into your house, that doctrine says, like, you have the right to use deadly force. You don't have to flee your own castle. You can kill the people breaking in. But if you say, hey, motherfucker, come down here, Marty, I'll fucking come on, Akron, everybody knows my address, and you say that shit and I'll fucking kill you, that is not the castle doctrine.
Right.
That is inciting violence against yourself.
Yeah, you can't lure somebody to your house to kill them.
Stand your ground is basically the same thing out in public. If you don't want to retreat because of whatever reason, you can stand your ground and blow them away in certain circumstances. But all of these things are highly conditional, but everybody uses them as like a get out of jail free card at every fucking opportunity.
Yeah. Really don't want to know what he does to people who don't return their shopping carts to the designated area.
The Frank Castle doctrine.
It's so funny because whenever he kept saying castle doctrine, all I could
Frank
think
Castle,
of was
the Punisher.
yeah.
That's what it's named after. No, it's not.
So
I
back.
push myself up off of that, and as I'm reaching and pulling around, he's standing
That's not where
in
that
front
cart
of me,
goes.
and I go
Bam.
up, he's taking a step towards me.
Okay, now let's discuss that, if you don't
Put a
mind.
pin in that.
What is a step to you and what is forward, right? Let's discuss that.
Could you sit on the ground real quick for me?
That's where I was.
I don't want you to hurt it.
Let me just unzip here now.
So you're
Don't
on the
lay
ground,
down, just sit.
right?
Ground like this.
Okay, how far is the guy away?
Front of the car.
He's at the front of the car?
Front of the
So he's on
car.
that sidewalk, kind of curb area?
No, he's in front of the car, off the sidewalk.
Okay, right on the edge?
You got it.
So how far?
You
do you
got
think
You got it. He walked
I
6
might
inches.
have been right at the edge of the back of the front door.
Of the car?
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
So he's up by the
Sandals.
front tire.
He's got flip-flops.
No, they're not even sandals. They're fucking flip flops.
They're like those. I don't want to say like Birkenstocks, but I can't remember the brand.
They're like. Here's the thing.
LL Bean.
There are 3 tiers of flip flops. There's like the dollar store stuff that are like that styrofoam that are good for like a day at the beach or whatever. You pick them up. They're between $1 and $5 technically. Anything like $10 to $40 is like basically what everybody's walking around with. Then there's like the super fancy shit that only rich assholes have. If these are in that middle bracket, they're like at the lower middle. Like these aren't a $40 pair of sandals. These are like a $25 Payless.
They're probably like Kohl's, or Payless.
Yeah, you can't
like
take them into the sea, so he's got to like be landlocked.
They're like that weird suede.
Little cork in it.
Okay.
Yes.
Back further, about, he had to be.
He didn't want to overdress and wear his Crocs.
So
Oh, hell
he's
yeah.
about this far,
Yeah.
maybe even further.
And as I come,
They're afraid of Crocs in Florida. Or
Yeah.
alligators. The American alligator.
come up off my hand. All right. I bring the gun out with me,
Hero move.
and as I'm coming back,
This is a lot like.
It's like a video game.
Oh my God, what's his name? He shot those kids in the gas station. Michael Dunn. He's the same thing. Like, he's just like, whoa, pulled it out of the glove box. There's one fluid motion, like out of the case, racked one into the slide, just started firing on these innocent teenagers who were listening to loud music. It's like the Matrix, but instead of Neo, like when you see Neo like fly through the air all in slow motion firing the bullets, like when the camera does the 180, it's not Agent Smith and a bunch of other agents. It's just like kids in a convenience store like being blown away.
Yeah, right. Landon says 1 step away from Old Navy, or
Right.
1 step above Old Navy.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm a Floridian, born and raised.
Isn't it weird there, Fosco? I mean, come on, you live there.
What does he do?
I mean, it's weird here too. We just don't have that much publicity.
Right. We don't have public records of
You
this
get
stuff.
out into like the sticks, like Bullhead City or Parker, you get some wild shit. But here it's just like, meh.
That's as I come out like this, he's taking his step.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Taking a step?
Taking his steps towards me.
Okay. How close does he get
But
to
he
you
just said
before you fire the
1
gun?
step.
Maybe to the front tire.
So show me where. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Freeze.
Okay, so right here.
Immediate.
Okay.
4 inches.
Was he charging after you?
2 steps running.
Says he loves it.
Well, he
Fosco
was-
loves
You're
it.
saying he was running?
Wow. It
That's the thing. I love Arizona too. Like every state is like a punchline to somebody, right? Like whether you're in the deep south or like, annoying middle north or the obnoxious east coast who think they're better than the west coast who are also just as annoying, just a different flavor. And like the northeastern yuppies and annoying shit. Like Arizona's got its fair share of like stereotypes, but you just sort of have to learn to love them because otherwise, I mean, people
what
are going
else
to
is there?
yeah, people are going to be peopling all over the place. You can't be like, well,
We get the people.
Yeah,
well,
like-
Arizona gets the people. I don't say when you say we, because I'm not a native, but like all the snowbirds from
well,
all the places.
those are transitory people. Like we're talking about the core.
Right. I'm just saying you get
population.
them also on top of
Yeah,
what
but-
we have here.
Those are nothing more than like, I don't know. They're not even. I don't even consider them people. I'm sure they are, but it would be like as if you were playing Frogger and there was a knob on the side of Frogger to like turn up the number of logs and alligators in the stream. They're just like rolling obstacles that you need to get around and that they don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they're going. They don't have jobs. They traveled across the country to wake up at 4 a.m. to drive where? I don't know. But whatever. Moral of the story is you just sort of love what you have because you grow up with it. It's why people don't realize they're in toxic relationships because in it just is normal. You see it every day. It's a normal thing.
It would have been running when he got out of behind the car.
Okay. All right.
I gotta get off.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want you to hurt yourself.
What did you think then, Mike?
Say again,
What
bud?
did you think when that happened?
I've never been in that situation ever. I thought kicks were coming.
I thought, thank God, finally get to shoot somebody.
I thought kicks were coming, or at least he'd be
All
on
right,
top
get
of
up a
me.
little faster out of your fucking floor, dude.
P.S. Like Marquise was also wearing flip flops, so like he couldn't have like neither of these dudes were dressed for an encounter, but like in his mind, like he just comes out of nowhere and he's waiting for just like people to start jumping off the roof or out of cars to come jump him. Like Michael here is a high value target, but like after all those targets were neutralized, I got back into my car and was like, hey. No Twinkies today. I shot a dude. And roll my window back up.
So, you're thinking he's gonna come kick you?
I'm thinking he's coming to do the rest of it.
Did you see him?
The
with a
rest of
firearm?
it.
No, sir, I didn't see him with anything.
Okay. What do you mean the rest of it?
Whatever beating was coming after that.
So you thought
He
was gonna
just
beat
pushed you.
himself?
I'm not kidding.
Okay. All right. So
If he gonna hit me that hard to begin with from blindside from the get-go, what else should I expect?
okay.
It's a medium shove again.
So you're on the ground. You said he was running at you, but he only took like a
I
step.
really dislike this dude.
He had cleared that.
Yeah.
And come around towards
This
me.
is, and I feel like most families are big enough to have somebody like this in them, and or a friend of a friend or a family friend or whatever. Like, you know that this dude is a powder keg, and it won't take much to set them off. And you want to say something to them, but what do you say, right? Because here we are. I'm sure. I shouldn't say I'm sure, but hopefully someone in Michael's life was the voice of reason to be like, hey, man, you're a hothead and watch out because what the fuck? You're going to shoot someone someday because you
have a lot of weird pet peeves.
Hello, yeah. But that's the thing. Nobody wants to acknowledge that. Nobody wants to like own up to the responsibility they may take a life unnecessarily.
Yeah.
And here we are. Because, having between 4 and 6 pounds of steel on your hip makes your balls feel heavier. You go, yeah, acceptable losses. Humans die. I get to feel big for a little bit until, the whole soap in the shower thing and the prison stuff.
All that.
That second foot.
Okay. So he only made one step.
He barely made the second step before I pulled the trigger.
Okay.
Barely made the second. First, he was into the first, and then he shot him. Now he's like into the second. By the end of this, he's like Usain Bolt, and he ran the fucking 700-meter dash. And he's like, oh, yeah, I knew there was, he was closing in, and I had to take him down. He was on the 487th step, and I figured this dude ain't backing out.
What kind of gun do you have?
Glock 23.
Okay. All right. That's
right.
9.
Glock suckers.
I'm not a gun guy, so
I feel like he
So
wanted to be
you
a
know how many
police
rounds you have to
officer.
run, stuff like that?
Yeah, sure do.
Or he had aspirations to like try and be a police officer, but it just never happened because of
A lot of dudes have wet dreams about that shit because a lot of dudes have issues with control of the need for it. I don't think he ever aspired to it. I think he just
the way he talks.
No, because he's one of these asswipes who wants to like. He's like Cyrax. He's like doesn't have any military blood. He doesn't have any. He's not an army brat. But when he gets in front of somebody in any sort of uniform, he drops to his knees and starts slurping their schlort.
Fosco's right. Most of these murderer criminals have at least one endearing factor. OJ could run sports ball especially well. Casey Anthony was hot and crazy. This dude's a lame limp mall cop.
Right, he's like Mall Blart's like crack addicted.
Paul Blart.
Oh yeah, Paul Blart, not Mall Blart.
Mall Paul Blart.
Paul Mall Blart's fucking like crack addicted cousin.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, dude?
One in the pipe.
Okay. All right.
One in the pipe.
Yeah, 13, 14.
Plus OJ had Nordberg, which, whatever, fuck the football stuff. He had Nordberg. Sure, he's an alleged murderer. Nordberg.
You guys ever see observe and report the darker Paul Blart-like movie starring Seth Rogen? He's like that 100%.
I haven't, but I get the vibe, so I feel like that.
I've never been in that situation before. First thing I think, if I'm getting hit like that, somebody's coming at me for more.
21-foot rule,
What
sir.
did the female do at that point?
The female just started screaming.
Was she in
Probably
the car?
because I shot her.
Out of the car.
Hello.
She's screaming that you just shot him, or
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I'm pretty
you just
sure.
hear her screaming? Okay.
I'm not paying attention to them anymore because I moved.
I was too busy searching for other targets. Here's the thing, man. I was worried when I shot that guy. You guys see Batman vs. Superman where like those weird bug creatures come out and Batman's got to punch them and they fly against the wall and turn into slime? I was ready for 7 or 8 of those motherfuckers to fly out of a portal because this guy came out of nowhere and he shoved me. And he shoved me.
To the ground.
To the ground. I had to kill him.
I got a boo-boo on my elbow.
My elbow hurts. I'm going to be stiff for days. He's going to be stiff for a few hours before rigor mortis breaks apart. Fuck you, Michael. Like, and that's the thing. He still doesn't know. He has no idea. He's like, I don't know if I shot him. That would be the first thing. If I ever had to shoot someone in self-defense, which probably wouldn't happen because I don't own a gun, the first thing I would ask is like, oh my God, did I
hit them?
Yeah. Hello. I wouldn't be like, yeah, what do I do for hobbies? Oh boy. Well, I used to, shutterbug this one, but then I kind of fell out when I had a kid. No, like I would be like, oh my God. Like even if I had to shoot a stranger, like, cause you put yourself in every situation when you go to these true crime role plays. You say, what if I was a criminal? What if I was a detective? What if I was like the person who's falsely accused? And you just sort of play all these roles. And it just, in some situations, you go, I would never, ever choose any of this behavior in any role I would ever choose.
Fosco says, to quote a wise man, whatever happened to catching a good old-fashioned ass whooping and getting your shoes, shirt, and your cap stolen? Eminem. I fucking love Eminem.
How is that going to apply here, though, right? Like, you think he's going to be up, like, he's hanging limp pickle with a gun. You think he's going to be like, yeah, I'll step that up to be brave enough for a physical contact? No, dude was running away and he shot him.
Yeah.
Like, he's the human equivalent of a lemming.
But you're right. Like, whenever I go out and if I'm with Elliot alone, and if I have to get gas or something, like I am constantly like, I got my sunglasses on and I'm always looking around. And then I think to myself, like, what am I going to do? Am I actually going to be able to, grab the stick I have in the car and hit somebody?
Right. But that's the thing. You can't don't overthink like your life because you live in fear. That's no way to live either. It's just don't think about it. That's the thing. Is like if you overthink about it, you could freeze up, or you could craft, on the other side of the coin, craft yourself a hero story where the second someone assaults you or like asks you the time or whatever, you can be like, you have no right to approach me, and then put 9mm slugs
I
into
don't
their
think
chest.
I don't think I'm the kind of person that would do that.
No,
I think
obviously, but like I'm saying don't do either of those extremes.
I get more, I don't know, I don't want to say hyper aware, but I guess it is hyper aware when I'm alone with or without Elliot, whether it's just me or me with Elliot. Like without you there, I'm definitely more like.
That's about Michael though, so don't worry about it.
Moved away from her. She's not threatening me anymore.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you a question. You mentioned early.
That happens so fucking much. I feel like I do that a lot too. I'm trying to cut it out, but like why do you have to say, I'm gonna ask you a question, or let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this. Just say it. Like, is that just, it's like vocal shorthand. Like I say, or like a lot of vocal filler, but like the whole, let me ask you this. I got a question for you. Like we're in an interview. I expect nothing less. Just rapid fire those motherfuckers.
That you asked Mustafa about video and stuff like that.
Correct.
That do you think the video would show him charging it or running
It
at you?
should.
Oh, it should.
There should be an angle right on that parking spot.
It should.
What happens if I told you that I looked at the video and in no time and point does he come running up towards you? He actually takes a step back.
Ouch.
I would disagree.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Anytime someone shows me like video proof of something I've done, I look them in the eye and I go, I disagree. And you'd be surprised how often that works.
I'm just asking. Okay.
I would disagree in a heartbeat.
Okay. All right. So
Anyway,
you said after he runs in the store.
Back to your false narrative. Now, so you're like, your Superman cape is flying in the wind because this supervillain just flew in from outer space and pushed you down with some sort of kryptonite gloves. So you turn and are like, make my day, motherfucker, because I stand for truth, justice, the American way, and I've got a friend in the military who taught me how to shoot. Then what?
Or and stuff like that.
Did you see me get hit?
Oh yeah,
Where
absolutely.
did you come from? If you don't mind me asking, where do you come from?
Yeah, we'll get there.
We're just glossing over.
there.
So he's now acknowledging the fact that there is video evidence. They have broached the fact that, hey, we may have this disproving everything you're saying. And he's like, no. And they accept that. And he's too stupid to go like, wait, what? Because if he's going to then say, yeah, I acknowledge that you have seen it because now we connected on something we both share a communal experience on, you having seen it from a third party and me being there. Why then be like, that part we align on, but the part where you see him running for his life, scared that he'll die, disagree?
Get into that. But did she walks around the vehicle? Does she go anywhere? Do you see her go anywhere?
She went to the front of the store. She was inside for a while. Then she got in and moved her car.
She came in with a pack of
So she
Pokemon
came
cards.
back outside the store.
She did.
So she finally moved her car, Michael.
Yeah, I think she wanted to move her car before the police got there because I think she knew she was in trouble, detective.
The thing I said to her was, somebody's trying to see if you've got keys for your children.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, I'd want to engage with the partner of the victim I had just gunned down in cold blood.
Fosco's,
hey, ma'am.
Like that college kids that broke into the ex-girlfriend's house and beat her to death.
Yeah,
He refused to accept
Hughley.
the reality. He killed her, even after admitting to beating her up.
Right, and that's the thing. Like when the detective's like, "She's dead, George. She is fucking dead." The last 20 minutes of that interrogation are just him in the corner alone, being like, "She's not dead. She's not dead." Ah, and like, what good does that do you, right? Especially if we're all going to live in the same shared reality, at least physically. What good does it do you to be like, no,
Doesn't change
like,
shit.
the time in your life where a nuh answer would cut the mustard is gonzo because, like, all the people who literally don't give a fuck about you will accept a nuh answer. As soon as you cross the realm into criminal, nuh isn't
That is all. But after our
She don't
initial
say anything else?
No,
Okay.
not to me. No,
Like
and I
start
didn't-
swearing at you or
No,
anything like that?
negative. Our argument was totally about
Everything was resolved
Hey,
after I
yes.
shot her
Before
man.
she runs in the store, did she make any threats or?
Gang signs.
I wouldn't know. I was trying to assess my own situation, sir.
Okay.
Assessing
Did-
threats.
When the gentleman, before you fired the gun, did he make any threats towards you?
I never
he
heard a
pushed you?
word.
Okay. So he didn't say, "I'm gonna kick your ass"?
I never heard a word of anything. Once I got hit, the only
You know, the
thing
more
I
I
heard
think
was
about it, he
her.
may have been mute, officer.
Until he was hit, until he was shot. And then
Hey, Pepe! Pa, pa, pa.
screaming.
No, beforehand, before
Great.
you shot. You said you heard her say something,
Oh no.
She said
Okay,
I was
so-
a
okay.
honky.
but you didn't hear him say, after he shoved you, did you hear him say
I-
anything?
Just pain, which is why I assume he was hit.
Okay. What do you mean? Can you explain?
Ow, ow.
Ow.
Yeah, and then back to the store.
Okay.
Because to me, it looked like when I shot, he was.
Now, I'm no detective. Now, he did get spun by the shot. I don't know if I hit him. He did say, ow, ow, and turn. I don't know if I hit him. And he ran into the store out of my sight, never to be seen or heard from again. But, detective, I fired one shot. I don't know if I hit him.
There may or may
I
not
don't-
have been blood on the ground.
You know, I did say it spun him, but it could have been anything. A Katie did.
Spun a little bit, and he just kept
Double
going
cheeseburger,
with
no
momentum
pickles?
and went that way.
Okay. Let's kind of back up because I'm just trying to understand.
So you woke up today at 6:30 a.m., Michael?
Excuse me. Before you shoot him, okay?
Okay.
And he had already shoved you, right? You said you thought he was going to come kick you and basically finish the job.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear him make any statements
Negative. He never made a word.
Okay,
until
like
I
I'm
fired.
coming to, I'm
Never
coming to
said
finish.
a word until I fired, but then he never said a word when he dumped me either.
Right.
Here's the beauty of being a detective. It's firmly established that the man who Michael is referring to never uttered an intelligible syllable other than possibly ow or But because Detective Monkey and the Weasel here, we got to go, okay, for the 8th time. I know, what, 8 again? Whoa, let's answer this question again. Just humor me. Did he say literally anything? Like a word, a phrase? Did he draw a picture? Did he pull something out of his pocket? Did he point up into the sky? Did he, wave his hands? Did he give you spirit fingers? Like,
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Officer, I'm sure you're aware of this, but he was black, so naturally I was scared for my life.
Yeah, he was in it was in a dark neighborhood, detective, and I was like, whoa, scared for my life. Yeah, that's the thing,
Dumbass.
man. Florida is still pretty south, right? I know everybody who isn't in Florida doesn't see it that way because the common perception is Daytona or Disney World, but it's a bunch of hillbillies. But there's hillbillies all over. There's hillbillies here,
literally 4 doors down.
Yeah, nothing new anywhere except for the accents. It's just
yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
So you never said, what
No,
the hell,
sir.
dude? Okay. So you guys don't have any type of...
But he
I
definitely
barely
never
even
said,
saw the
please
man.
don't shoot me.
No, I mean, after he
Oh,
pushed
no.
you were on the ground.
There's
You're trying to get to your sidearm.
no talks between us
Okay.
at all.
You don't ask him
What does diverse mean? Oh, because you get closer to Cuba.
Yeah.
So yeah, or the Dominican Republic and the Caribbean, more or less.
Right. You
have
go
more-
to northern Florida's Boca Raton and all that shit.
Yeah,
All
but-
the retirees go.
Yeah.
the hell, dude? Why'd you push me?
No,
He doesn't make any statements. I'm gonna come kick your ass.
no. Negative.
Okay.
Didn't say a word to me.
So he made no threats that he was gonna come finish his job.
So just to confirm for the 43rd
So
time.
you just assumed he was gonna come do that.
Any
I can be
smart
the only
person
white
would-
person
Okay.
in a store or restaurant any given time, and no one can really pull that racism shiz.
I kind of like that. I've never, I shouldn't say never. I've seldom been in that situation where I was the only white person and I got to be the odd man out. I never felt weird about it, but it was always I don't know. Some of my favorite people, my best friends and girlfriends and bosses, they've all been black. I love black people and I love gay people. It's two people I love, and I love Puerto Ricans. But moral of the story is, we all sort of tailor our performances to one another. So when my boss, who I loved, would talk to me, she would white up her vernacular and attitude. And I would sort of give her a little sass because I knew that she could, whatever, and not give me shit about it. But when she would talk to the other doctors or whatever, other black people that she had a very close relationship with, it was almost unintelligible, their language.
Yeah, I used to. So I dated a guy when I was in early college. I dated a guy who was Puerto Rican or Hispanic. He was Puerto Rican, but he went to a Hispanic only church, and he used to want me to go with him. So I would go with him to this church where everybody
White
was.
devil.
I was the only white person that didn't speak Spanish fluently in this church. And even when I was in college too, we used to go dancing and stuff to all these Peruvian and stuff dance clubs, and I was one of the only white girls there.
Right, but that's the thing. As long as everybody puts too much stress on the outside, because if the movies have taught us nothing, it's basically true. If you can walk into a place and sort of resonate with the vibe, people will just sort of go with it and they'll just accept you. But if you're going to be a stuck-up idiot or an awkward weirdo,
yeah, I know. I
ruin your own
totally
life.
didn't think about it at the time because I didn't fucking care. I was having fun with my friends.
Right, it's such a weird. I don't know, man. Because you just sort of, the person you're with, you're going to sort of mirror them to make them comfortable. So I remember one of my good buddies, Mike, he was an electrician, and he and I worked together, and he was working on his rap career at the time, so he came over to the house that I had at the time for a show, and he brought like 4 of these big dudes, and they're all rappers, and they're all like drinking in and like getting drunk in my studio, and like they're smoking weed outside the shit, and it was just like a fucking crazy time, but I never felt like
an outcast.
Right, and I don't know, not to, go off the beaten
We're
path
talking
too much.
about Mike.
Well, I'm saying that's the thing with Mike here is like he probably looks at these people and like goes, ew, gross.
Yeah.
Whereas I was always so intrigued. Like I never understood people who were like, ugh.
Oh yeah.
Just from a pure aspect, dark skin always just appealed to me. So when people were like gross or racist, I was like, I don't fucking get you, bro.
That was like with my dad. I didn't get why he was the way he was, but I got, I learned the bachata. I learned all like different foods and stuff. And
but then here's Michael being like, I'm gonna have a fucking corn dog and shoot a black guy in a parking lot.
Yeah, Fosco says there's a lot of people from Haiti, Jamaica, and South America down there, and they get a lot of great food.
Oh,
I'm
for
sure.
I'm correct.
One time, sir.
Okay.
That's the one thing like America doesn't have very much of is like spice. Like white people don't cook well. The English started off terribly. The people in America have continued and only recently started upping their game, but it's only with the help of others.
Yeah.
Like give me some fucking spice, people.
Neutralize.
And then he just neutralize it?
Neutralize, and then that's it. There's no reason to.
What do you mean? Can you elaborate? What do you mean?
Oh, you know he fucking does.
Neutralize the immediate
yeah.
threat.
Okay.
And then that's it. No reason to go overboard.
He's got like 2 cans of Miracle Whip in the fridge, right? He's like the one that used for the knife and the one that has like a shit ton of corn dog crumbs in it.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
Sure. Okay. I get it.
It's
And
the
then he
food
runs
mayonnaise.
straight from the
Save
jar.
my own ass, and that's
The other
that.
one's the guest
And then he
mayonnaise.
That's
runs the
Miracle Whip.
store,
Whatever.
It's different.
Things are.
Ask them. The Miracle Whip people will definitely disagree with you.
You unload your gun. You have contact with deputies.
Correct.
How often do you go to that store? You said
Every day.
It's
Every day.
my
Okay.
fucking store, bro.
Do you
I
ever
don't work there. I have no stake. I have no share of the profits. I don't know what he works there personally, but I do buy occasional impulse items. So we're like fucking family.
have any type of issues?
I wanted the cop to be like, why do you go there every day? But I'm sure it's for cigarettes because my ex every day would go
not
for
only
cigarettes.
that, like he probably is a smoker, and I think he is. But
Yeah, he said he had cigarettes in his pocket.
here's the thing: there are just certain genres of people, let's say, who do daily business at places like food marts and gas stations.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he's one of those.
here's the thing, I think he is. You can slip into that demographic easily because I found myself there one time when I was like, okay, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about my health. So when I go to work early, I'll stop at the Circle K and get some junk food. I'll get some sunflower seeds. I'll get a cherry Coke or whatever. So I became one of the people partaking of these stores, but not realizing I'd become one of these gutter trash people who were like buying tall boys of chilada at 6:37 in the a.m. But because I decided to let my standard slip, I had become one of them in the upper echelon. I didn't sink down for very long, down to like where I was buying lottery tickets and like stealing butts out of the ashtray at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a close call. It's a slippery slope.
Spreading jar and his raw
dog jar. Fuck yeah. No rubber.
How long ago was that?
My corn dog raw.
Okay. Like a month, maybe. Okay. Can you kind of talk to me about that?
We had an argument.
What's that?
We had an argument.
So
because
we
he
had an
let me
argument.
walking around the truck taking pictures too.
Where was the truck parked?
In the handicap spot.
Okay.
So you're a habitual pester of people who you shouldn't be butting into the business of? Because number one, remember how we discussed you don't own anything, you have no real relationship or responsibility? Fucking.
Was
a
it
tank truck?
facing the store as well? Basically the same as the young
thing,
lady's car?
Except his was easy.
I didn't
They're a
shoot
local
him.
Company.
Sure. All right. So you walking around the vehicle
Yeah.
doing the same thing?
Just took pictures that time.
Okay.
Then he got out and confronted me.
Okay. Talk to me about that.
Which he has every right to.
Wanted a piece of me, of course.
Did he say that?
Yeah. Then the boss.
He wanted a piece of me. Hey, man, I want a piece of you. It's a weird thing to say. What are we in a movie?
Then I called his boss, and then that was over.
I called his
Anybody
boss.
make any threats?
So you were hassling a dude who was minding his own business and, technically was breaking a law, but no one gave a fuck, and you inserted yourself into the situation, and the only way you got out of an ass kicking was you tattled on him to his boss. God damn, Michael, why aren't you writing this down? Like, these hero stories...
We should make you an honorary deputy.
I'm at half-mast. He's so heroic, it's got me at like a chub. Because he called his boss. He said, hey, guy, I got your employee over here.
He's parked in a handicap spot.
Mom! Bitch.
Kick your ass, motherfucker.
Right. Okay.
That's why I had to call his boss and tattle on him, because he said he'd kick my ass. And he could. I'm wearing flip-flops, Your Honor. I'm an officer.
Did you say that back to him? Like,
There's no reason to. He's about 4 foot taller than I am.
Pretty sure it's an infraction.
Definitely, like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like whatever's under a misdemeanor, like jaywalking must be whatever is under a misdemeanor. It's like same thing like parking in a spot.
I mean, yeah, from what I understand, as long as the car is still running, it's like that.
It's a basic who gives a fuck unless someone shows up, in which case you can have words and be like, hey, can you move? In which case, like, shut the fuck up.
So
God damn.
You said local company. What do you mean by that?
Double A. They're right up in Dunedin.
Okay.
And their drivers do that on more than a few occasions.
Is the phone number?
I feel like
Sure is.
Okay.
He's the bane of their existence.
with the people just like sitting in their cars in the handicap space is like if you park your car in like a pickup spot at Target or Fry's or whatever and you leave
like
the car.
These are the asshole kissing cousins. The people who pull up into a pump but don't pump gas because it's easier and or the parking lot in front of the store is
It's full.
Is a asshole kissing cousin to the loading zone and the handicap spot, and also a very similar relative to the dude who takes his bike up onto like the
right in front of the
pavement
door
and parks it 6 inches from the fucking door. Like, don't get me wrong.
Convenient.
I would never take my bike up into someone's like business essentially. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you have no seatbelt to put on. I own a bike. Hop off, run in, get on your bike, and leave.
Yeah.
Like, do you need to be 6 inches from the door, you lazy fuck squatch?
Michael is the kind of guy that's perfectly okay wearing the same underwear for days at a time.
Yeah, and he won't even turn him inside out.
Nope. He doesn't know he could do that.
His employee was acting after I took pictures out and such, and that was that.
Excuse me, sir, your employee's being a real bitch.
Any discussion about you having a gun or anything like that?
I didn't know. God, no, there was no gun shown.
Okay.
He was white.
Did you have your sidearm on you at
I
that?
always have my sidearm.
Okay. You got a CCW, I'm assuming?
Correct.
Okay. All right. There's nothing wrong.
Here's the crazy thing about Arizona now, too, is like somewhere between 5 and 10 years ago, they were like, hey, you know what? The CCW thing, like, that's cute and all, but who gives a fuck? Go ahead and conceal carry if you want to. Like, it was just one day rolled down the pipe, like, because one of my friends at the time was huge into guns. I was like, yeah, you don't have the CCW anymore. Now you can, instead of having it outside your button up, you can throw your button up over the gun now without a license. That's Arizona.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
I'm just asking.
I've been carrying my whole adult life.
Yeah, I
Learned
mean,
to
I
shoot
kind
before that.
Sure, I don't blame you. Do you go shooting a lot?
Not anymore now.
Okay. When was the last time you went shooting?
Years.
Years.
What kind of firearms training do you have before you got your CCW and started
Well,
shooting?
besides hunting, my father was a state cop for 20 years.
Great.
So I've had to drill.
I mean, about you. You personally, what kind of training you
Yeah,
had?
I trained.
That's a great answer. What kind of training you have? Well, my father was a state cop for 20 years. Yeah, you. Well, that's what I'm talking about. My dad. No, Michael.
My dad a little bit, and
Okay.
I trained with other cops at the range, but as far as formal training, no.
Any prior military, anything like
Oh,
that?
no, negative.
Prior law enforcement?
I wasn't allowed to be a cop. He said he'd break my arm. 20 years of shift work and bullshit.
Your dad said that?
Yeah.
What kind of drills did he run you through?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean?
You ever practiced from your back or anything like that in the past?
From my
You ever
leg.
practiced shooting from your back in a position where you're on the ground or?
Oh, I've practiced sitting before. I've never practiced laying on my back.
Okay.
But I knew sitting would always come into play at some point in time.
All right.
So that's a fact.
What a weird thing to say, right? Like, you're like, well, I was trading, and I knew that sitting and shooting someone would come into play. Like, I don't want to say that's prophetic because it's hindsight now. But if he did have that thought, we're like, yeah, I'm going to be sitting and shooting someone to death one day. Like, holy shit. Like, damn, Michael, you foresaw your own doom and did nothing to stop it.
Yeah, well.
I was a driver for Uber, so.
Okay.
Classic Uber paramilitary driver.
I've never been on my back before. No.
All right.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You had mentioned that you go to the store all the time, and you had that one incident with the septic company.
Yeah.
Any other incidents prior to that? You ever have any discussion with the owner of the store?
Yeah, he saw me that day.
No, I mean about...
In general, like, do you have an unspoken agreement or maybe even a spoken agreement where he gives you the right and the responsibility of hassling people, his customers essentially, parking in a possibly sometimes used spot? You're the keeper of that spot, Michael?
About these handicaps, somebody parking in a handicap spot.
Yeah, I talked to him.
Oh, yeah, he gave me a certificate.
Was that Mustafa? Is that his name?
I don't know his name because there's another guy too. And
Oh,
I can't
okay.
keep him straight.
What did you tell him?
Same thing. He saw it parked out there. I gave him the phone number, and you could see the company logo on the side of the truck.
Okay.
He didn't seem to give a fuck because, again, like, why would he? Like,
Yeah, the guy's already gone.
nobody was complaining.
He bought stuff.
He was working his shift. Again, like, who gives a fuck? This guy, MD, Michael Drejka,
That was that. There's
protector
no
of the
reason-
handicap spot.
He doesn't have any reason to come out and stop people from parking in his handicap
Did you-
spot. You know what I mean?
So wait, he didn't have a reason to. A reason? Would there be any reason?
Could be any reason.
Right, he has no reason to because probably no one cares, and people park there and buy stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a discussion with the owner and stuff, saying, "Hey, you guys need to enforce this"?
No.
Okay.
That's his prerogative.
Well, I know, but I mean,
Well, I know, but you shot a guy over it, and you tattled on another guy over it. So it's kind of disingenuous for you to go like, well, no, not at all.
clearly there's an issue with people parking there. Wouldn't you
Oh,
say?
baby.
Okay.
I'm not always there.
All right. So
I'm trying to get him
I can't enforce it all the time, just at the 15 minutes every 4 hours when I got to pick up another pack of Pall Malls.
arguments with people either, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Absolutely.
But when they see me doing stuff like that, they automatically think, hey, what's this guy trying to do? Fuck me?
right.
Well,
Wouldn't you think that a little bit?
yeah.
So in your mind, you're automatically instilling in them an aggressive posture because you're just a dude walking around their car
Taking pictures of their plates.
menacingly. So now you're acknowledging, like, this is tantamount to first degree. Like, I think he got like manslaughter, which I think is bullshit. I would have said second degree. But I mean, this walks the line of first degree so much where he's like practically practicing this encounter.
Yeah.
Like, he's circling that handicap spot like a hawk, waiting for his moment to kill somebody or make my day to some other poor asshole.
Yeah.
Like, if there was like somewhere between first, like 1.5 degree murder, that's where I would fucking put this dipshit.
He's at a 1.5.
Seriously.
Well, that's exactly what
Like, having wet dreams about it, I think should count as like half premeditation.
Yeah.
first instead of going with the mouth.
Well, let
I
me-
know better.
Let me ask this: that parking.
I know
space
better.
is-
Except, oh wait, yeah. Why are we
There's
here?
actually other like empty parking spaces that are probably closer and have better access to the front door.
That's the only one that has access
So-
to that ramp.
In this particular situation, though, if somebody can park right next to the ramp, walk around to it, doesn't really matter all that much.
He's got a point.
I'm not sure where this is headed. What's this got to do?
I'm not sure where this is headed, but it feels like you're about to say that what I did was unnecessary because literally no one should, could, or would give a fuck. But I'm going to stop you right there because if you say that I am not the ultimate supreme leader of that parking lot and that warrior of the handicap spot, I mean, who the fuck am I, detective? Like,
Yeah.
who am I?
It's curious.
Hitting it from
Whether or
behind.
not it's worth an argument over the
Yes.
Killing
Yes,
a
I
guy.
think it is.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay,
The
cool.
whole point of this
I
is
mean,
because
when
of
you
the
set
parking
up an
space.
argument, because you
Not
just
an argument if you,
Right.
you know, and
A discussion.
agreeing with what he just said.
Right, because he never said anything. He just shoved you. He tried to run away when he saw the gun and you shot him. I would not call that an argument, Michael. You're so smart.
Well, and realistically, the guy that he shot didn't really know what was going on, besides the fact that he was bullying his wife or girlfriend
Right, but
or
that's
whatever.
the thing. Like, why would? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
there's a lot on both sides to blame. Like, if I went to a gas station and I came out and some dude was yelling in your window, my first go-to response wouldn't be to like give the guy a hard shove.
Right.
I would probably get aggressive verbally, but I would keep it under control because, again, I know people can keep knives and guns places.
Anything, yeah.
And charisma goes a long way. Like, I feel like I talked myself out of an armed robbery once. We don't need to get into it. But if you're able to talk your way out, you don't have to be a bitch and try to shoot your way out.
Right. Hey,
It's happening,
Matt.
Matt.
Welcome
Okay,
to the party.
But don't you think, instead of putting yourself in that type of circumstance,
shooting a guy,
that it may escalate? Because people are crazy. I mean, right?
Like you, for instance.
You shot a guy.
Like, let's say someone as crazy as you meet in the wild, and he gets to his gun first and he shoots you, and then tells us this cock and bull story where, like, you turned into a gargoyle and started running at him, and he had no choice but to put you down because you're also foaming at the mouth because you also had rabies. And, it just so happens that with a bullet pierced your heart, you turn back into a human. We'd have to believe him.
Yeah.
You have road rage incidents, you got people getting shot all the time, all kinds of stuff, right?
I mean, you got assholes hassling people, and here he is raising his fucking hand, being like, yep, I would like to shoot someone from my car as long as they're a shade darker than coffee.
So, hear me out. Wouldn't it be best, instead of putting yourself in those circumstances, to contact law enforcement and have a...
Goddamn, do I love the Monday morning quarterback aspect of this shit. Like, especially when, like, it's not a matter of, like, trying to get them to confess, but it is, like, they think they're their hero. But, like, being like, hey, did you ever consider for a second, like, don't do that. It's moot.
Give
I
us a
realize
little
juries probably eat that shit up, and so they have to, in addition to be like, are you sure, are you sure, are you sure, are you sure, to be like, hey, did you ever even consider not committing a crime?
Right.
Because then like your average mush-headed jury member will go like, whoa, he didn't ever consider not committing a crime. That's easily digestible mentally for me, your average juror.
Right.
Have a deputy come out there, or Clearwater Police.
Well,
No, I had to
Police
shoot
and I
him.
don't get along. We have some Fourth Amendment issues.
What is that? What do you mean, fourth?
Clearwater Police illegally searched my car. Well,
Okay.
you know.
So he loves police, but he would not call them because he holds a grudge against them.
Just the
for
one town.
illegally searching his car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every time I drop to my knees and blow somebody, I definitely, as soon as I'm done blowing them, wouldn't ask them for help because I don't really trust them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you gotta S that D.
How long ago was that?
Last summer.
Oh,
They took it upon themselves to go through my glove box when all they had to do was replace something back in my vehicle.
what was that?
My firearm.
Okay. So they took your firearm out of the vehicle?
Always.
Okay.
Always.
All right.
Why?
But again, back to the question, wouldn't you think it would be better, instead of putting yourself in that type of circumstance that could escalate?
Okay, what does this have to do with...
I'm just asking. I mean,
You
on my
shot
back
a guy.
Yeah, what does this have to do with the price of tea in China, right? Like, now that I've shot a guy after shouting at him and or his girlfriend, getting pushed down and killing him, like, what does this have to do, man? Like,
Yeah.
it's as if you're both standing in the rain and be like, why is your shirt so wet? And be like, what are you talking about?
That does. You told me you were on your back and stuff, but I'm just saying, don't you think that it would be best
Not.
to notify law enforcement? You said you don't like to argue. You said you don't like to have confrontations.
That's
But
debatable.
you keep getting out of your car and taking pictures of people and getting into confrontations. So is it that you don't like your balls getting zapped, or you really love it, and it's only when people find your ball zapping device do you have to say, no, that's for charging electronic devices or whatever? Shut the fuck up. Like, don't. And the problem with the dichotomy thing is like, it's usually people trying to weave a narrative to get them out of something that the inaccuracies or the incongruities happen. But like with Michael here, there's no pressure. He feels no pressure. He feels he's done nothing wrong.
Look at how he's sitting.
Right. So to go like, I love the cops, but I don't trust them. And like, why are you asking me if I should control my temper after I've murdered a dude? Like.
That he doesn't realize is dead.
Humans can compartmentalize so efficiently. Michael doesn't even realize that he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hiding, like from a moment to moment basis.
Yeah.
Point taken, but
Okay.
we're straying a bit off course, I think.
No, we'll get back to that.
don't
I'm
you
just
worry.
asking you a simple question.
Not of course at all.
Do you think it would be best to call law enforcement?
I think we're straying off course if you're asking me the question, should I have not shot the guy? Let's stick to the subject at hand. So did you shoot him? Yeah. Did you wish you couldn't have?
Have them address that issue?
You'll never make it.
Okay. Because the person what?
They leave.
Okay.
They'll never make it.
All right. So it's
Unless you guys are literally parked there, do you really think
Sometimes we
you're
are,
gonna
man.
make it?
Sometimes.
So here's the thing. He's saying, if I call you, they'll be gone before you get there. But if I hassle them, ...
They may
Right.
or may not still be
So
there.
he hassles them, and unless they have a company truck and a boss's phone number with like, how am I driving, call 1-800, eat shit, his only recourse is to be a whiny little bitch.
Yeah.
And who else is going to do that? Not nobody. It's got to be Michael. And if you ask him why he does it, he can't even...
It's his store.
He can't even entertain the idea of not being a fucking moron.
Correct.
Like, he can't consider a reality where he's not sticking his nose into someone else's business unnecessarily because he just rejects it wholesale. It's not like, well, I don't know. It's not like I never considered it. It's just like, no, it's rejected wholesale.
Yeah, he's not learning
It's
anything.
not a thing, so stop asking.
Yeah.
That feels very King Cobra.
Sometimes we're real close.
Right, but you're not going to drop an important something for...
Sure.
Okay? Why bother you with stupid things like that?
Okay.
I'm
Why
sorry.
bother them?
I'm not after being a justice kind of guy, but when I just say something to a person about being parked there, I don't expect it to go where it went.
Yeah, I mean, after I circled their car 3 or 4 times, taking obvious pictures and obviously mean mugging, because do you think this face ever looks good? I don't expect them to get defensive, your officerness.
Your officer honor?
So that's why you don't call, because by the time you call,
Always, man.
they'll be gone.
So
They always
just
are.
get the fuck over it,
I'll ask a
dude.
related question though.
Fucking tiny dick nutsack. Leave them alone.
To show his boss.
What's the purpose in taking?
That's for
pictures?
his boss.
Do you take pictures of other people's cars though?
No, actually,
Like
no,
if you
just
see,
the...
if you see
If I can't tattle on their boss, why did I take pictures, officer? Hello? What am I going to, like, call their mom? No. I got to have someone to tattle to. Use your brain, sir. Otherwise, I got to shoot them.
Just
cars-
commercial. I didn't want to take a picture of their car. There's no reason to. I'm
Sir,
not
officer,
turning in
ma'am.
anybody. I just want to ask them if they think it's right to be parked where they're parked.
Okay. Do you
And after the answer, do you fuck off? Because where does the conversation go after
Yeah.
that? Like, do you get a coffee?
you understand that? I mean, does it ever go through your mind that when
Sir,
you're going
officer,
and
ma'am.
talking to these people and informing them of them being parked in a handicapped spot, that they might not take that right? That this might go sideways a little bit.
Well,
like in this
but
case.
That's why I take precautions as well.
That's the thing. When I hassle people and they get angry at me for hassling them and they pull a gun at me because I'm badgering them, me being at fault, I want to know that I'll be able to stop them from retaliating against me for hassling them, you see? So it's like a chicken and the egg scenario, in which case nobody's at fault and the castle doctrine reigns supreme. Michael Drejka,
Swish.
3-pointer.
Like what kind of precautions?
I'm a very careful person and I have a permit.
Very careful.
Okay. Do you think you'd go now?
I haven't practiced shooting in years, he said, 10 years. But I'm a very careful person and I have a permit.
Yeah. Apparently a
Imagine
good shot, too.
Getting into the car with someone who hasn't driven in 10 years. They said, hey, I haven't driven since 1990. Let's take it that far, right? And you go, well, what's up with that? And they go, don't worry, my license doesn't expire for another 20.
You go knock on these people's, or I shouldn't say knock on these people's
Yeah, I
windows.
don't
You can go confront them.
anyone
I
right
mean,
to their face.
It's approaching, so we use the term
I go to their
approach instead of
car.
confront.
Okay, but it is up to the person who's in the car to actually confront.
If you go up to somebody and approach,
So it's up to the person in the car to confront me after I've stood outside their window taking pictures. I don't consider that a confrontation. It's up to them to confront me, your officerness.
Yeah, when she rolls her window down and says, "What are you doing?"
That's when I felt attacked and I had to start blasting.
Yep.
approach them, they could take that as being confrontational.
Duh.
You
Yeah,
can't
no
really
shit.
how
That
they're
wouldn't
gonna
make
take
them
it.
confrontational.
But if you go up to somebody and you approach them about being parked in a handicapped spot, do you think you'd be willing to do that and take that risk if you didn't take these precautions? Because you don't know how people are going to react.
Right. If you had no gun,
this is.
Would you do this?
The word delusional gets thrown around, but I don't think that's the right word. It's not like a gap in knowledge. It's like a fabrication of knowledge.
Yeah.
We're like, 'cause without the gun, he wouldn't be doing this. And he wants to do this, so he has to have the gun. But to him, it's not even a thing. He's like, why are you even asking me why I talk to these people? Like, to Michael, being a pain in the ass because he's one of these asswipes who needs to be on the HOA because he grew up longing for power in a very desperate situation. I don't know him personally, but these are the type of things that happen. Like, he inserted himself into this, and then after the fact goes, well, it was on them.
Yeah.
I was just being a super cool dude with my flip-flops and prison tattoos. I've never worked a day in law enforcement, although I know military friends, and I have no problem shooting people. And that's the long and the short of me, Michael Drejka.
I've been carrying a gun most of my adult life, so I can't really answer that in a way that would satisfy you.
Okay.
You
Well, I
know,
mean, would you approach these people if you didn't?
Once again,
It's a yes or
don't
no.
know. I would have to say yeah.
Okay.
But I wouldn't know because, like I said,
You always carry.
Here's the thing, man. Pretend we're in a parking lot, and there's a guy in that handicapped spot. You and me are standing there. You got your gun in your hip. You're about to walk over there, right? But I reach over and I pull the Glock out of your holster as you're walking over to confront the dude. Do you keep going and get in the dude's face, or do your balls suck back up into your thoracic cavity and you decide to knock it the fuck off? A or B, Michael? I don't understand the question.
I can't answer
I've
that.
owned a gun most of my adult life. Like, omelets.
Well, it's like, okay, think back to your adult life where you didn't have a gun. Did you do this
It never
before?
happened. It never happened. I know what you're talking about. No, another rejection, a denial of the concept as a whole. I cannot relate because there's always been a gun in my hand. So no. A no to a non-yes or no question is the perfect answer for Michael.
I've always carried a firearm.
Okay. Since how long? How long have you carried it?
Most of my adult life.
How old are you now?
48. 47, sorry, I'll be 48.
That's a hard 47.
So, and we'll dive back into the whole him shoving you.
Oh, I can't wait to go back into that. Holy fuck. It's only been 46 minutes, and I can't wait to start from the beginning where he pulls into the parking lot and walks around the car again. That's my favorite part, actually.
Yeah.
The walking around the car. Whoa. Front and back, and he stopped, and there were no placards?
And stuff like that.
I'm just a jury member.
Sure, and the video and everything like that. If let's
And
say
the
on the
video.
video, watch the video or whatever, and
Whatever.
he doesn't approach you or make any steps towards you like you indicated.
Again, I'm going to double down on this that you so easily glossed over as a rejection of reality earlier. What if, now think about this hard, but what if it were? Don't say it's not, but consider what if it were, right? Not, do you want to say yes or no, but just stop, think, and consider it, Michael.
Exactly what I saw, though.
Okay, so you saw him come
So
towards
just
you.
a flat out rejection of reality again, Michael. You don't even want to take a second, a moment to run it through your thought process to be like, hey, what if?
Eh.
No, just a flat out no. You won't even let him finish the fucking sentence. Nope, never happened. Anytime someone says video, that should mean like, even if it is a bluff, there are cameras everywhere, so there's a good chance it's not.
Right.
What happens if he didn't come towards you? Would you still have fired around?
There's no reason to. If he's retreating, then I don't need to use my firearm.
What if he's just standing still?
I still don't need to use my firearm.
All right.
Man, you're such a fucking great dude. If you were running away or standing still, you wouldn't shoot him. But since he wanted to, in your head, at least, because again, no verbal communication, you wanted to kick your ass and made a step or two, or possibly covered the length of a football field.
Yeah.
Did you see, when you saw this guy after he pushed you, did you see anything on his face? Did you see any facial expression?
Tattoos?
Negative. All I saw was a man.
No eyes, no nose.
What were his hands doing? Could you see
I
that?
have
Slenderman.
no clue.
No clue.
Okay,
Were you able to see him? Were you able to see the guy's hands?
I didn't see.
He was a blackish blur that I fired once into the center mass of. I think it passed through him easily since he was a cloud of gaseous paste and struck the sign. Nobody was injured. I'll catch you dudes on the flip.
His hands per se, and I didn't see his face at all. I don't know what he looks like.
Could you see his legs, his feet,
Unbelievable.
anything like that?
I might have seen his legs. I know he was a black guy. That's it.
It's interesting how he knows that. Doesn't know any facial features. Couldn't tell if he was running toward him or away from him. Did he have two eyes? One? I don't know. But he was a black guy, I'll tell you that. And that's why I had to keep firing.
Maybe his arms. I'm not sure.
Could you see anything?
He's waving his arms at me.
Watching his feet. Watching his hips.
All right.
His
Checking
hips
out-
don't lie.
He's checking out that D.
So if he was standing still, you would have seen no reason to
No,
pull
sir.
the trigger. Okay.
If he hadn't twitched, I never would have pulled that
When,
trigger.
when that gun was out, did you make the decision to shoot when you pulled the gun out, or was that
Negative.
decision made afterwards?
Negative decision I made as soon as he moved.
Okay. Did you remember having time to think and process
No
things?
time to think.
But you
As
hadn't
soon as
made...
that gun was out, the twitch goes. That's it.
Okay.
One fluid motion, 21 foot rule. I stood my ground in my castle doctrine.
He sneezed and it was over.
He was black. His face was just a blur. He could have been some sort of mythical internet monster. I had to shoot him at least once. Then he disappeared. Is he dead? Did I hit him? I'll ask that later. We're almost an hour in, but I'm basically just trying to gloss over anything that can send me to jail, your officerness.
Yeah.
But you said you actually pulled the gun out before you made the decision to shoot, right?
I'm not pulling it out with the intention of pulling the trigger.
Okay.
You wouldn't
Okay,
put
if
it
I come up on
otherwise.
target and I need to shoot, I'm shooting.
If you would have pulled that gun, between the time you pulled that gun, if you would have been on your back and you pulled that gun and you had it on him, if he would have been standing still, do you think that trigger would have gotten pulled?
No.
Did you have time to really look at him and tell that he was coming towards you?
The feet said he was coming towards me, and
Okay.
so did the hips.
What kind of twitch was it?
Those Twitch decks, it's like not the really expensive version. It was like the $199 version that Best Buy still sells.
Hip twitch. Right foot comes around this way, like he's going to come right past that car thing, and that was that.
Didn't happen.
How much time do you think it was between when you pulled that gun out and when you
I don't
actually
know.
pulled the trigger?
I don't know.
How much time did it seem like to you?
It seemed like a split second.
Okay.
All right, Michael. We'll be right back. You got to use the restroom or anything?
No, I'm good, thank you.
You need more water, partner? Okay. We'll be right back. All right.
You want bacon, egg, and cheese, anything like that? All right, I want to get to the part where they tell him that he's. Let's see if we get to the part because they take his clothes, they take pictures of him, yada yada yada. I want you to see his reaction when he goes, "What happened to the guy?"
Things. Is that all right? Just to go over, just kind of clarify things.
Clarify away.
All right. If you don't mind me asking, kind of,
Can we just start back at the beginning of the day? What was that morning like?
what type of activities do you do? Do you do any like karate or anything?
I love karate.
I'm definitely not that active, and I am not in that good health
Oh.
to be that active.
I'm not active either.
I'm just a cop who has to chase down dudes.
What's your health issues? Or you got health?
I've got GERD. I've got some breathing problems from my smoking over the years.
Slight meth dependency.
That's really about it.
I've got emphysema and GERD.
I've got alligator foot and cold lung. I got naval fungus.
How long? Okay, well, that's a good thing. How long ago did you retire?
2007.
2007.
He's
Where from, if you don't mind me
48 years old at this point, and he retired 9 years earlier. 9.
Yeah,
Yes.
what he's going to do with the rest of his life? Like hang out at the corner store and shoot people?
I want to know what he did that he was able to retire so early in his 30s.
Maybe something that would have lasted longer could have kept him out of jail. Like if he had a fucking place to go and some pipe to put up or some tin to knock or some wire to pull or some shit to do, he wouldn't have a fucking care in the world about shit that no one should care about.
Yeah.
Expert. ASPLUNDH.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
ASPLUNDH. Tree experts.
What is that? If you want?
Asplund.
No, I mean, what did you do? What did you do there?
Oh, line clearance tree trimmer. They are the original company that
He
started
retired
trimming
from
trees
being a
around
tree
1998.
trimmer
Your brain.
at 39 years old.
Hey, listen. Florida's got a lot of trees. And you put in year 20, it's like being a cop.
What?
The same pension.
You made you climb trees and stuff like that? Holy crap. And you retired in 2007?
2007. My mother died.
Retired.
And,
Oh,
Okay.
he got
Probably
inheritance.
inheritance.
Sorry to
But
hear
then,
that.
what do you think? Like, do you think Michael here comes from money? You think his mom died and they were just sitting on $3 million?
me too. It's not the way you want to get it.
No. But in regards to your medical status, stuff like that, I mean, you're in good shape for the most part?
It's just the breathing. I've been smoking for so damn long. I can't get up.
Still smoke?
Yeah.
Smokers are so annoying because they go like, "Oh, I got these man, but I can't get my mic." Then shut the fuck up about it. Like, hurry up and die, and stop talking about how you're doing it to yourself, or stop. I don't care which. Kill yourself quickly or slowly. Don't do it. Do it. I don't give a fuck. Don't be like, "Oh, I can't." Like, "Oh, my medical bills." Up yours. Like your doctors. Here's the thing. The medical industry can only do so much. If you go to your doctor and say, "I'm dying in a rush," and they go, "Do this, 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 and this, and stop this," they are good intentioned. I don't think any human knows how any other human can live. You just sort of have to feel it out. But if you go, "You got it," and then don't do that, and the next time you show up to your doctor, you lie and go, "I did do those things," and they go, "Huh, we've got another pill. Why not pull your head out of your ass and start doing the things you should and stop doing the things that you shouldn't?" Because it's on you. And you'd rather be like, "My goddamn doctor."
Almost 2 packs a day.
So what? I mean, do you take asthma medicine and stuff like that, or
No, negative.
you're not
Negative.
asthmatic?
Boy, oh boy.
Okay.
2 packs a
Okay.
day.
Pre-COPD, but not asthmatic.
Okay. All right.
Like, this is the type of person, like the smoker and the overeater are close cousins. Because, like, I'm sure everybody somewhere in their family has someone pushing 5-6 bills who goes, "Oh, I just can't do that the way." They always say, "I only eat 1 meal a day," blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. Blow smoke up your own ass. I know how biology works, how mass works. Like, you cannot gain weight by eating less. So if you keep getting fat or stay fat, physics doesn't make exceptions for your fat ass. You can't tell me, "Oh, I only had half a bag of frozen peas today." And I've only had that for the last 12 months. And yet I remain at 1,376 pounds to date. You're lying to me, egregiously so. I know it's a sliding scale for every person, but you know who you are if you're fat. And you're expecting me to buy it. And it's rude if I don't. It's rude for you to lie to me. Don't lie to me that you're on a diet or you're doing good. You're not. Don't tell me you're not smoking anymore, because you are. I can smell it on you. Humans aren't stupid. Don't lie to your friends and family. Admit that you're weak and we'll all respect you for it.
Do you do anything since you've been retired? I mean, you do any activities?
We used to go boating, and then we sold the
So many activities.
motorcycling, and then we sold the motorcycles, and now it's basically just time for me to go back.
WWE Raw.
I just go to the food
What do
mart
you
every
do
day.
on a daily basis? Just
Right
hang
now,
out?
packing.
Doing what, I'm sorry?
Packing.
What do you mean packing?
We have to move.
Okay. You mind if I ask you why you gotta move?
Yeah. These our neighbors, our landlord. He just had our grandson,
Okay.
and he's taking our house and full business.
I mean, by and large, Thomas. I mean, when was the last time? I mean, within certain things. I mean, yeah, intelligence quotient is a fickle mistress, but the type of intelligence I'm talking about is like, you know when someone is blowing smoke up your ass. Except you don't call them on it if they're your family member, if they're your coworker, or if you don't want to hurt their feelings, because it feels better to eat a tablespoon of bullshit from someone instead of being like, really? Because then they might be held accountable for something. But if you don't give a fuck, you go, oh yeah, that's great. Like all the people I don't care about who give me progress reports of their non-progress, because again, I have eyes. If I don't give a fuck, I go, keep at it. If I gave a fuck, it would be a more earnest conversation. And I've had those, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But I'm not here to pat someone on the back and be like, oh, good for you. You lost 6 ounces and you've been on this diet for what, 13, 14, 15 months? Yeah, I realize that, you know, every holiday you really got to splurge, and there's so many cheat days in a week. And when do you find the time to not eat shit? But like, stop talking to me.
Which is based right next door at his house.
Okay.
So yeah, we knew this has been coming for a couple years now.
All right.
We've been there almost 8 years.
You gonna stay in the area, or?
We can't afford to.
Okay. Yeah, Pinellas County,
It's tough.
yeah.
Well, we had a hell of a deal.
Prime real estate next to a food mart? Are you kidding me? Gotta get out of here.
But that's
Landon says, carrying extra weight makes regular activities a workout. Overweight people should be getting more fit through daily activities. You'd think the problem would be with self-balance.
You would think. And here's the thing. One of my friends in high school was morbidly obese. And when I say morbidly, I'm not saying like he was morbidly obese. Like it was just a little heavy. 500 pounds this dude was. No joke. We were in Tai Chi class together. Walked like the blueberry girl from Willy Wonka. Like enormously fat, many surgeries to try to fix his failing joints because the human knee was not meant to hold half a ton or what, a quarter of a ton. Fucking strong as hell.
Yeah.
He like my girlfriend at the time, she wasn't super huge. Like I was 6 foot, still am, and I was like whatever 135, 140 pounds in high school. My girlfriend at the time, 5'6", 110, and like he just grabbed her with both hands, picked her up over his head, and held her in one hand over his head.
Wow.
And I go, holy fuck! Now of course he was winded as fuck afterwards, but. You know, the dichotomy is you have an immense amount of strength because you're constantly carrying that shit around, but it's good for a very limited time.
Yeah.
Back to the incident, okay, a little bit.
Yeah, you keep bouncing a lot.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I gotta
A
have
long
it.
day.
No, it's not.
So, in regards to the incident at the store, you had mentioned early on when I was talking to you about after he shoved you, okay, and you fell to the ground.
Me, nothing.
Well, I mean,
A shove is somebody standing in front of somebody and pushing their arms out straight. This felt like I was run at.
I was tackled. See, now, like, he went from, like, hit out of nowhere and he fell down to now it's like a freight train.
Right. He got hit by a train.
Like Officer Norberg, O.J. Simpson himself came out of nowhere to tackle his ass to the ground.
so after he tackles you or whatever in your words,
Or whatever in your words.
you fall to the ground, correct?
Very
There's no words
correct.
in your mouth.
I didn't fall up, that's for sure, officer. I fell down.
And then,
My elbow.
you know, you're working on getting your firearm out because of what reason?
I laid on it when
I wanted to shoot him.
But you're working on trying to get your firearm out.
I had to drag it out from under me.
For what reason, though?
To shoot him.
If you had just been blindsided with no idea who was attacking you, would your firearm be out next move you made?
Probably so. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to make that.
That's exactly.
It's an opinion. Okay.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't be hassling innocent people parked in spots whether they had a placard or not, so it's hard to say.
Right.
That's the thing, man. Like how you can't imagine your life without a gun. I can't imagine hassling people for no fucking reason. I just reject it.
Okay. So
No, I don't think
you
so.
thought
That's training.
I don't think so.
when you looked up and you see him, what's going through your mind?
What's going through my mind is he coming back at me again?
Okay. To do what? What did you think he was going to do?
Thinking he's going to finish what the hell he just started.
Okay.
We've been over this. God, I hope we haven't missed the part where he says that he's passed. I just want him to. I want you to see that. Because, like, that would be the part, good, bad, or indifferent. Like, a normal human would be distraught and, like, all the artifice would be ripped away.
Right.
Sorry, man. It's been a long time. I get it.
I got no complaints, man.
Okay.
5 stars.
Here's your wallet back. You want this open?
I'm surprised these interviews, the people talk so much without a lawyer. I suppose criminals that get caught aren't the brightest of the bunch to begin with, though.
Right. That's the thing. Is the criminals that get caught aren't the smart ones because they got caught. And there's one I just watched where, like, this kid was riding a dirt bike, and according to him, like, was an incident of road rage, like, pulled over and beat a dude to death on the side of the road.
Jesus.
I forgot why I was telling that story again. God, because he called for a lawyer, like, halfway through. Like, he's totally cordial, and obviously he's a fucking hothead who blows up at the drop of a hat. Because they go, what's your story? And the second they go, well, here's the thing. We've got witnesses, and some of this isn't, like, no confrontations were made. It was a light, not even accusal, like a light, hey, some things aren't adding up. When he went apeshit and called for a lawyer. That interrogation footage is 3 hours long, and most of it is him, like, they gave him his phone, and he's, like, calling his mom and his dad, and the detectives come in, he's like, I can't ask you any questions, but I'll come and bullshit with you. Like, it's insane.
Wow.
So calling for a lawyer doesn't necessarily mean that shit stops, because, like, the dude kept saying, like, you asked for a lawyer, so I can't ask you anything. He's like, we can talk, but I can't ask you anything. So they're just sitting there, and they're like, it's like, so what did you go to school for, or whatever?
Your keys, car keys. Here's what's going to happen. And again, I apologize that it's been so long. We're conducting a thorough investigation. The investigation is going to be ongoing. Okay, we're not done with the investigation. There's a lot to this to place
Not really.
all the parts together, review things, and so on and so forth. Video collection, all that stuff takes a while. Okay, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like you see on TV. Okay.
No kidding.
Okay. So, however, with that being said, as part of the investigation, we're going to keep some of the stuff, okay, as evidence and process and stuff like that, including your green shirt and your black shorts. Okay. We unfortunately got to take that stuff. We'll throw this on. I can call your wife. She was here.
Yeah, she probably went out.
She left, and I tried to catch her before she
Wait,
left. To let her
my
know.
arm.
Sorry it's taken so long.
Well, I'm
But,
sure she doesn't
you know.
know a thing about that either. So.
Yeah, so you can call her, or I can call her.
My phone was in the bag.
We have your phone. We're going to keep your phone, unfortunately.
Whatever. The moral of the story is I probably missed it or whatever. He goes, did he die? He's like, yeah, he passed away. And he goes, thank you for telling me that.
Wow.
Thank you for telling me that. Like, to start this, like, I don't even know if I hit him. And they're like, did I kill him? They're like, yeah, you shot him and he passed away. And again, he doesn't feel any pressure because they let him walk out of this interrogation and go home. He was arrested later. But like, put yourself in that situation. And again, maybe you're not like the criminal. You're not hassling people like this asshole. You just are put in a situation where you legitimately had to defend yourself, where you killed someone. How would you react to that? And not only knowing, or rather not knowing if you killed them, you shot them. And they do all this, and they go, he's dead. they're dead. She's dead. Whoever.
No, I'd be like distraught.
Yeah, you'd lose. I shouldn't imply that you would lose your mind, but I would lose my fucking mind. I can't imagine, like, because then after this, I mean, even if like everything comes out okay, right, and like society pats you on the back and all the cops go, you did the right thing. This was actually the castle doctrine. You shot the rainbow. Stand your ground, and you did everything right as a person defending yourself. I would still be like,
but I still kill the dude.
Killed a fucking human being. I still have bad memories of stepping on a toad at my old house. Like, I remember every animal I've killed accidentally because it tears me up inside.
Yeah.
Everything I've done, intentionally or not, I go, Jesus Christ. And I winnow them away. And imagine just, going from like, all right, getting good, getting better, not killing any animals or being angry at people, and then just having a murder shoot through the roof, and then being like, how do you deal with that? It's just like, well, you killed the guy. Even though in your mind he was running towards you, even though he was running away, and you were the one who started it, even though you thought somehow he was.
Right. Came out of nowhere and hit me like a freight train.
You would just have to live in your delusions like a lolcow to be like, no, I'm the hero. The criminal justice system is wrong. The cameras are wrong. The victims are wrong. I was protecting my store. Way to go, Mike. Enjoy prison, you butt pipe. That's it. That's all I've got for you. Next week, we'll probably have some more 90s commercials, and I'll see what is going to come up next true crime-wise, because, boy, oh boy, there's a lot of them still. And I'm sort of building up my skin for a couple of these people, because some of them are just too annoying, or they're crimes I just don't feel like I'm ready for.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it eventually. So thank you so much for watching, if you did, if it's now or the future, which is also going to be now. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Or they try to.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.